and said he thinks Biden should step aside and not be at the top of the ticket, come out today and said, looks like Biden isn't going to step aside. It's all up to him, obviously, because of the Democratic rules. And because of that, Nadler says he supports him. So very much a circling of the wagons over the last few hours here.
Here's my big question. Is it a circling of the wagons, do you believe, Jay, because there's not enough time and it's logistically almost impossible to make the change? Or is it because they believe in their hearts Joe Biden is actually the best candidate to defeat Donald Trump?
I think that's a really good question. If you talk to a lot of Democrats privately, even some who haven't come out and said anything critical of Biden publicly, they would say they are really concerned about his chances come November, and some of them do not believe he is the right person to take on Donald Trump. That's one element of things. There are some Democrats who have said, look, through every twist and turn, they actually are hardened to Biden here. There are some Democrats who tell me that this consistent coverage of his faculties, et cetera, over the last few days since the debate has actually made them in some instances more likely to support Biden because they see it as him under attack and they're coming to his defense and that he's being wrongfully criticized. There is an element of that. And then there are some Democrats who say that because Biden has said he is not going anywhere and that he is going to fight this thing out, that there isn't any logistical way to get him off the ticket anyway. So because they want to defeat Trump, they're getting on board.
Jay O'Brien with ABC News. Jay, have you heard about tonight how he's going to talk to Democratic mayors across our city? Our mayor here in Milwaukee has confirmed that he will be on the line. Do you know what he's going to be talking about? Is he just trying to shore up everybody and reassure them that he's okay?
It's that. What we've seen the White House do over the last few days is talk to these various constituencies of high-profile Democrats and get their support. He talked to Democratic governors. He obviously sent a letter to congressional Democrats, said he's not going anywhere. He's also done other rounds, like, have unscheduled events. He's going to have a big press conference this week regarding the NATO summit, which is in D.C. There's going to be a lot of eyes on that. He called into Morning Joe on MSNBC. So he's trying to do various things, and this call with mayors is one element of that, to try to shore up his support and to say to prominent members of the Democratic Party, like a lot of these mayors are, that he's in it to win it and that he's committed.
Are they taking questions? Are they able to ask him questions, or he's just speaking straight to them like he did to the governors?
I'm not quite sure, frankly, of the structure of that call. I'll be curious to see as it happens, exactly what comes out of it.
Jay, I want to ask you about that NATO meeting that you mentioned. He is scheduled, the president is, to hold a press conference late in the day after a long day. NATO leaders, we've been told, are looking at what his behavior is as they are here in the United States. How critical are other Dems viewing that press conference that will take place on Thursday?
Oh, I think Democrats are viewing it critically and voters are, frankly, viewing it critically. And the White House has been playing up this press conference as well. In the White House press briefings, they've said he's going to hold, I think what was referred to as a quote-unquote big boy press conference in a joking way. Because
a big boy
they
press
were accusing
conference?
reporters of using that phraseology, and so that was the joke. And I think it was somewhat taken out of context. But point being is the White House has made, a reference to this press conference. A lot of people have talked about this press conference. And to your point, it's not just a press conference. It's A, coming on the heels of that debate, but B, more importantly, and you hit the nail on the head, it is after a long day. So if he performs well, the White House is going to say, look, he had a bad night, but look how he is after the end of a long day. And if he doesn't perform well, it's just going to add to those concerns that we've already heard vocalized.
You get the feeling that Donald Trump is happy to right now be quiet and almost hope that Joe Biden stays in the race. The polls show him up in every swing state. Is it better for Republicans, if you're a strategist on that side, to hope that Joe Biden does stay the course?
Well, I'm not certain of that, but what I can tell you is I've heard Republicans say that they are trying to do exactly what you said, which is try to have Trump be quiet, weather this storm out, and watch this tumult play out on the other side of the aisle. And I can tell you from a Capitol Hill perspective, the Speaker of the House gave a press conference today, and he said, I haven't been chased by this few reporters. I'm paraphrasing here, but he said, I'm never chased by this few reporters. Usually it's a pack of reporters following me around, asking him about everything under the sun, including Donald Trump. And this time, all the reporters are at the Democratic meeting, and none of the reporters went to the Republican meeting this morning. So clearly, all eyes are on not just Joe Biden, but his party and the lack of unity there is about how they feel at the top of the ticket.
ABC's Jay O'Brien on Capitol Hill. Jay, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
We're going to get some very interesting perspective coming up in 20 minutes. Major Garrett, CBS's chief Washington correspondent, has some very strong thoughts about what's happening with President Biden. By the way, the live stream is back now working, so if you want to watch the show, we encourage you to do that. You can text the word WATCH, WATCH, to 855-616-1620. You can watch the show.
Maybe we can redeem ourselves, and through this commercial break, we can show the Bulls.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea, Julia.
Sorry
so the
to
running of the
everybody.
Bulls took place in Pamplona, Spain, and the pictures out of there are terrifying and amazing.
Yeah.
We will put those up there. Producer Brandon, producer Isaac. This show's so big we have two producers. They're going to put the pictures up there, so text the word WATCH to 855-616-1620. We'll be right back. It is 3:25.
Make the most of summer when the Brewers take on the Nationals July 12th through the 14th, featuring a Brewers Image Viewer giveaway and Cerveceros Day festivities. Get on board at brewers.com/tickets.
Let me tell you a couple things about Azura. Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. They've got locations throughout Wisconsin, several in the Milwaukee area. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. At Azura, they get it, and they care. Compassion and empathy, that's at the core of what they do at Azura. It's kindness right there at the center of everything they do. They'll take care of your family member. The deal is that we're living longer, and that means more Americans are facing some sort of memory issue, Alzheimer's or other dementia symptoms. At Azura, this is what they specialize in. I've been in their locations. They're going to take great care of your family. They are family-owned. That's Azura calling me right now. Let me put that on hold. They will take care of you like they're taking care of their own family. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Check them out today. Locations throughout southeast Wisconsin.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
You just can't pass on Less is Glass. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
You wake up feeling like you just boxed 12 rounds. Some wake up sweating with sore jaws, headaches, and a lot of our patients complain of brain fog. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula, and these signs, often joined with snoring, are sleep apnea symptoms. And if this sounds like you may have been in a struggle last night between you and this serious disorder. Many people aren't willing to fight back. But the fact is, you can't go through these nightly struggles without ramifications that each night chip away at your life's expiration date. I get it. You don't want to wear a CPAP mask. You may find out you don't need one. We have every effective sleep apnea solution available. And believe me, the mask is the last resort.
Solving your breathing triangle problem can lead to better sleep and a better quality of life. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wickert, owner of Wisconsin's own AccuNet Mortgage. I get that most home shoppers just go with their bank when it comes to getting pre-approved. But that's probably a mistake, because banks have a lot of overhead, like branches, fancy headquarters, and layers of management. That means their closing costs are typically $1,000 to $3,000 higher than AccuNet's for exactly the same rate. And that's not all. Bank pre-approval letters are usually weak and unconvincing, especially compared to AccuNet's rock-solid, fully verified pre-approval that provides a $2,000 guarantee to you and the seller. Our senior loan consultants will also look at every possible way to strengthen your offer and pre-approval in the eyes of that seller, especially if you're offering over the asking price. We even call the listing agent to reinforce what a great buyer you are. Banks don't do all that. Click on the blue button today at AccuNet.com and let our passionate mortgage pros help you win while you save a bunch of money, too. That's ACCUNET.com.
Time for the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Mixed bag today, kind of bouncing all over. As Jerome Powell said, we're kind of on the rate cut script that we've been on. The NASDAQ was up 26 points. The S&P was up 4 points on the day. The Dow was off 53 points. Annex Wealth Management. It's financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Market volatility, global issues. We hear about inflation easing, but it's still a real issue. more than a few headwinds this year. That's probably why Americans like you feel uncertain about their financial future. Just 59% of affluent Americans felt secure last year, and that's down from the year before. Boomers, not much room for error. Gen X might need more than a 401k. And for millennial families with big dreams, it's time to get real about saving and investing. Talk to Annex Wealth Management. Build security with a partner on your side for unbiased advice. Our goal is a plan that prepares you to maintain your desired lifestyle throughout retirement. Investments are a start, but you may need more. That's why Annex delivers tax and estate planning. There's an Annex plan personalized for you. Annex Comprehensive Wealth fits most individuals and families, but if you've got high net worth with complex needs, Annex Private Client is your solution. Just starting out? Annex Ignite is a great choice. Know the difference with Annex Wealth Management. Click the Get Started button at annexwealth.com.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstad. It's swimming season, or for some of us, golfing or gardening season, but you're not out there enjoying your favorite hobby because you're sidelined from arthritic joint pain. Bone-on-bone pain in your knees or hips, maybe? Here's what you do. You call QC Kinetics. There are exciting new cellular therapies that can get you the lasting relief you need. QC Kinetics is helping patients all the time. I'm talking cutting-edge treatments that accelerate your own body's healing properties, revitalizing your joints so you can move again. It's not sorcery, it's technology, and you don't need surgery. Call QC Kinetics. The local professionals at QC Kinetics in Greenfield and in Mequon are ready to help you. Here's the phone number, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation. 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today.
Traffic is sponsored by 2 Men and a Junk Truck. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't.
From removing unwanted clutter or junk to full-service residential or commercial cleanouts, get a free same-day estimate at 2menandajuncktruck.com. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 3:31. I'm John Mercure. Your top story, a new ruling about protests over a Wauwatosa police officer.
I'm Julia Fellow. A deadly crash caused by a valet worker.
I'm Debbie Laziga, northbound on Brewers Boulevard, just before I-94. We do still have that right shoulder blocked with a crash, so be careful with that. Westbound 94 is a bit slow out of the Marquette all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Southbound 43 heavy from Hampton all the way down past Keith. We've got westbound 894 also slowing down out of the Mitchell interchange all the way to 68th Street through that construction zone. And while you're out navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you see something we should know about, call the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, chance for rain to the south, a low of 67. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, a high of 76 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a judge has ruled that a Wauwatosa curfew imposed in 2020 against protests targeting Officer Joseph Mensah violated state law. Attorney Kate Knowlton tells the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel the judge found no facts to dispute in the claim that the city and Mayor Dennis McBride violated state statute. The protest stemmed from Milwaukee County DA John Chisholm's decision not to charge Officer Mensah in the shooting death of 17-year-old Alvin Cole. Knowlton says anyone whose case is still ongoing for violating the curfew can argue their citation should be voided.
A valet worker at a downtown hotel is accused of taking a car drunk and causing a deadly crash. 23-year-old Marco Gomez is charged with first-degree reckless homicide, knowingly operating a vehicle without consent, and homicide by intoxicated use of a vehicle. The 29-year-old Michael Starks from Brown Deer died after Gomez crashed into him near North 11th Street and West Wisconsin Avenue. He had been speeding and ran a red light. In the criminal complaint, Gomez admits to taking the hotel guest rental car while under the influence. Valet service Town Park says he was not working for the valet during the incident. He's now in custody on $100,000 bail.
Police are investigating the possibility that hazing could have been involved in the death of a Dartmouth College student. CBS News correspondent Matt Piper.
20-year-old Juan Zhang was reported missing Sunday afternoon. A few hours later, his body was found in the Connecticut River. Hanover, New Hampshire Police Chief Charlie Dennis says Zhang was attending an alleged fraternity hazing event at docks near the Dartmouth Boathouse the night before.
We've received some emails that were forwarded to us from the college that were sent anonymously, listing some of those concerns. Potentially hazing or alcohol may be involved.
He says they do not suspect foul play. Matt Piper, CBS News.
Water bills are being delayed in the city of Middleton because of a coding issue. The city says they anticipate the problem will be resolved this week and paper statements will be mailed by this Friday. Due to the delay, the city of Middleton will issue a temporary grace period of payments to Friday, August 16th.
The Brewers' final homestand before the All-Star break begins tonight at American Family Field. The team's success and attitude could be attributed to first-year manager Pat Murphy, but don't expect him to take any credit.
It's a really fun team to be a part of.
When you hear outfielder Christian Yelich say this on WTMJ.
You see young players take strides to get better. You see them improve. It's really cool to see.
He sounds like his manager, Pat Murphy. He sounds like you. So clearly whatever you're doing is rubbing off.
Well, I don't know about that. Christian.
Murphy on Wisconsin's Morning News, always deflecting the attention away from him and giving it back to the players.
It's a beautiful thing, man. We got the right people, and I think that's what you have to emphasize.
Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers and Pirates tonight on WTMJ. First pitch at 7:10. Our coverage begins after the 6 o'clock news. And Bucks superstar Giannis Antetokounmpo will be the first flag bearer you see at the Olympics opening ceremony, carrying the flag for Greece.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 3:35. John Mercure here for Otto's Wine and Spirits. They've been doing it since 1945. Wisconsin strong for 75 years. Employee-owned, friendly staff. I love all that, but what I really love about Otto's, they have the best selection, the best wine selection, the best beer selection, the best spirit selection, and they have great prices. Full service, full selection, Otto's Wine and Spirits. It's where I shop for all my party goods. They'll meet or beat any locally advertised price 7 days a week. You know they're open. And they are Wisconsin through and through. I love Bruce, the wine expert at my place, and I just love the hard seltzer selection. And the prices at Otto's are the best you're going to find. Located in Milwaukee, Elm Grove, Brown Deer, Cedarburg, my home store, Menominee Falls, it's Otto's Wine and Spirits.
Is your business looking for localized banking solutions and a strategic partner? Fifth Third Bank has been looking forward to the future and helping businesses shape what's next for 165 years. And for the last 15 here in Milwaukee, they offer industry-specific expertise, local decision-making capabilities, and extensive experience to help navigate the complexities of a constantly changing business market environment. With your business in mind, commercial banking value only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, custom solutions built around your goals, member FDIC.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Take me out to the ball game.
I love this. On Tuesdays, we give away tickets, a 4-pack of tickets to the next Homebrewers game. That's on a Tuesday. So call right now, and I'm going to ask you a trivia question. The first one to call, the first one to get the trivia question right, wins a 4-pack of tickets, 855-616-1620. We will line up the calls. And this week's winner will win tickets to the Brewers Braves. Braves got a good team. That's on July 30th. It's after the All-Star break. So you will win tickets to the Braves.
Ooh, that's a good game.
Isn't that a good game? On July 30th. So if you are the first one to get a trivia question right, I'm going to pull out my little list of trivia questions here. Then you will win tickets. So we're going to just kind of run through these, and we'll see who wins. This is a good prize. I love this. And by the way, these are really, really good seats. So 855-616-1620. Let's line up those calls, and I will run through them here, and we'll see if we can find a winner. Hello, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Brian from Menominee Falls.
All right, Brian, you know your Brewers trivia?
I hope so.
All right, let's try. Who was the Brewers' first MVP winner? The first guy in Brewers history to win an MVP?
Robin Yount.
Oh, that's not right, but that is a really good guess. That was
that is a good. Hey, listen.
My guess too. Let's go to the next one. Good afternoon. Hello. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello, this is Ken.
Oh, hey Ken. I bet it's Ken in West Allis. Is that right?
Yeah, that's it.
Wow.
Ken.
You know your callers.
Who was the first MVP winner in Brewers history?
I believe it was the pitcher, the relief pitcher, Raleigh Fingers.
Hey, you win!
Nice.
Congratulations, Ken. Stay on the line. One of our many talented producers is going to take your information, and you win the ticket. So, Ken, stay right where you are.
Ken, how do you feel?
I feel good because I somehow remembered that.
Ken, who are you going to take to the game?
Oh, we got to take the wife, or I'd be in trouble.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You got 2 more tickets.
She is a big Brewer fan.
Who gets the other 2 tickets? You only have one wife, don't you?
Oh, that's right. There's 4. Okay,
Yeah.
well, we'll get friends to go.
Okay.
Nice.
I didn't even realize there was 4 tickets.
Yeah. How about that? Let your wife pick the other 2 people that
Excellent.
get to go.
We won't give them the Cub fans.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. All right. Hey, Ken, have
That's
a great rest of the
prerequisite.
day.
No Cub fans.
You stay on the line, and Isaac and Brandon will take care of you.
I thought you were going to say it's you and me that's going with them.
We should have said that.
Exactly.
Because we're fun. That would be good. Yeah.
All right. Do you want to hear this really heartwarming story?
I do. I do.
Okay,
What do you got?
so there's a man that's traveling the country, and he's here in Wisconsin, and he's trying to collect all the stories of World War II veterans that are still alive.
Oh, wow.
He's only 26 years old. His name is Rishi Sarma, and he, in the past 7 years, has documented and has on his YouTube nearly 2,500 stories.
Oh, my gosh.
So he's in his rental car, and he's using Airbnb, educating the younger generations of the sacrifice they made, and he hopes that no veteran is forgotten. Take a listen.
These are people who are willing to bear the burdens of war. It's cool to see how enthusiastic they are that a young person cares. You know, they feed off of my energy. You guys have done your part. It's up to the younger generations to make sure that the sacrifices the World War II veterans made were worth it.
And again, his name is Rishi Sarma, S-A-R-M-A. He gives out his phone number, 202-315-8743. Walks around with a shirt with that number that says, I'm on a mission to meet and interview all World War II veterans of the Allied countries, with his phone number on it.
Wow.
3 examples of what he's done. He shared what life was like in a Nazi prison camp with a survivor. Double amputee World War II tanker he was hit by a tanker, and he shared his recovery after a German Tiger tank got him and took both of his legs, and how a World War II sailor survived 2 kamikaze attacks.
So I love this, and I love this little detail. So let's give out the phone number again, because there are World War II vets in our area. I've talked to some of them through Stars and Stripes Honor Flight. What's the phone number if you have a World War II veteran in your life?
Yes, and if you just text the talk and text line, I'll just text it back to you, but it's 202-315-8743. So if you don't have a pen and paper, you can just text me, hey, Julia, what's the number? And on the talk and text line, I'll just text you back.
So here's Julia's home phone number. Here's her cell phone number. You can text her. Just kidding. Hit our text line, 855-616-1620. We'll shoot you the number if you have a World War II veteran that you would like this young man to talk to. That's a great story.
I know.
It's absolutely fantastic. It is 3:42 at WTMJ. He is the best in the business. He is CBS Chief Washington Correspondent Major Garrett, and he's with us up next on WTMJ. WTMJ's John Mercure here. Join me as we count down to the RNC in Milwaukee. We'll talk to the biggest names across the political landscape.
The idea of having the convention here is to advertise the city of Milwaukee. And it's not good advertising for the city of Milwaukee if they're throwing Molotov cocktails and overturning cop cars.
Full podcast available on WTMJ.com, or text RNC to the Old National Bank talk and text line and get a link sent directly to you.
Decision Wisconsin 2024 coverage is presented by Pasternak and Zergabel.
Hey, Connect Chiropractic. Their focus is on wellness care and helping people do the things they want. I know, because I've got neck and back issues, and since I've been going to Connect Chiropractic, they are much, 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 much better. I'm working in the yard. I've started golfing a lot, actually. It's kind of my new expensive, time-consuming hobby, and I can do it more easily because of Connect Chiropractic. They've got locations in Delafield and Wauwatosa. I go to both. Dr. Alex, Dr. Marley, Dr. Olivia. I've had all of them. They're all absolutely fantastic. It's not twisting, cracking, popping. It's a different kind of chiropractic, and it works. It works for me, for sure. Long-term care focus on total wellness. Connect Chiropractic. I believe in these guys, and I feel better, and I'm doing what I want to do pain-free. It's Connect Chiropractic.
People across Wisconsin are enjoying the rewards, stability, and flexibility of a career in healthcare. Why not you? Wish Caregiver Careers can get you started as a certified direct care professional. You'll learn the skills you need to make life better for older adults or people with a disability. All training is free and online. plus earn $500 in bonuses. Start your new career. Sign up today at wiscaregivercdcp.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
The July sale on Norwalk Furniture is on now at Ken Michaels Furniture. Save 40% on showroom pieces that are ready for immediate delivery, or in just 35 days, you can create a look that reflects your unique style with over 850 fabric and leather options. From family-friendly to on-point designs, these fabrics are durable and fashionable, and our design service is free to help you put it all together. For better quality American-made upholstery, stop in today and save at any Ken Michaels Furniture locations in Greenfield, Brookfield, or downtown. Get a better night's sleep and save money on a Milwaukee mattress. For over 70 years, our family has been making mattresses and selling them direct to your family. By cutting out distribution costs, you can save up to 50% and get a better night's sleep on a premium mattress. Go green with natural latex. Reduce tossing and turning at night by reducing pressure points on your body. This is one of our most popular mattresses. Stop in today and take a test rest at any of our Ken Michaels Furniture locations in Greenfield, Brookfield, or downtown.
Hey, it's WTMJ, Steve Scafidi for Universal Windows Direct. For every 2 windows you buy, get 2 free. Buy 2, get 2. Buy 4, get 4. Call 414-410-2000. Schedule your free in-home estimate today. For every 2 windows you buy, get the next 2 free, plus 0% financing for 60 months, 5 years. Restrictions apply. Tell them I told you to call. Get an additional $250 off your project for the last windows you'll ever need. Go to uwd.com. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Traffic is sponsored by the amazing Mineshaft Restaurant in downtown Hartford.
The successful Mineshaft Restaurant in Hartford is hiring positive, professional servers, bartenders, and pizza cooks. You'll make real cash. Inquire today and start next week. MineshaftRestaurant.com.
Traffic and weather. Let's get a look outside at your roads with Debbie Laziga. Hey, Deb, how's it looking?
Hey, Julia, we've got a little issue on 43 southbound. It's just south of Bender Road. The right lane is blocked with a broken down vehicle. So that's going to be a little bit tight. Of course, there's a construction zone through that area anyway, so it's already going to be a bit backed up. Got delays stretching all the way back towards Good Hope Road. Southbound 41, a little heavy from Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive. Westbound on 94, slowing from about 25th Street all the way to about Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound so far is looking okay. We do still have that accident on 175 or Brewers Boulevard northbound just before I-94. That's off on the right shoulder, that crash. So just be extra careful heading through that area. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast tonight, light rain chance mainly south of Milwaukee, a low of 67. Tomorrow there's a light rain chance in the morning, then it's going to be partly cloudy in the evening, a high of 76. Thursday partly cloudy, a high of 78. Friday mostly sunny, pick day, a high of 83. Saturday slight storm chance, mostly sunny and warmer, a high of 87 degrees. The current temperature in Milwaukee is 75 degrees and cloudy.
Major Garrett is CBS's chief Washington correspondent. His podcast is Agent of Betrayal, The Double Life of Robert Hanssen. On my 17-hour drive back from Hilton Head, I was listening to so many crappy podcasts because I was just looking for something to occupy my time that I told my wife, a miracle might happen, honey. Let's Google to see if the newest episode of Agent of Betrayal is out. And instead, I had to listen to Will Arnett talk about golf because it's not out yet. Major's here. I told my wife the first thing I'm going to ask him is when we get more of Agent of Betrayal. Major.
I wish I could tell you. I wish I could say definitively there's a date you could circle on the calendar, but I can't.
Don't you remember his tease?
I do, but I'm just hoping for a miracle.
We're still working on it in both audio and
video.
Visual, yes, visual format.
That was his tease.
Good. That's going to be good.
Yes.
He is CBS's chief Washington correspondent. Major, I wanted to tap into some of that expertise and ask you about Joe Biden, the debate performance, and now what's happened this week. When people ask you and know nothing about what's going on, how would you describe the state of where we are and what's at stake for the Democratic Party?
So the state of play is as follows. Many Democrats in the House and Senate and across the country, but because I'm in Washington and because Washington is a funnel for political anxieties for members of Congress. They all congregate here and talk to each other, and that anxiety tends to get funneled into one direction. This anxiety is about the president's ability to win the race and in the process make the case not only for his accomplishments, but his agenda for a second term. That anxiety is real. The debate amplified existing anxieties about President Biden's ability to make the case against Donald Trump during a vigorous national campaign and win the election. But that anxiety has no outlet. What do I mean by that? It has no practical political outlet because the primaries and caucuses are over. Joe Biden needs 1,968 delegates to secure the nomination. He has twice that many pledged to him through primaries and caucuses. That is the only operative reality. Nothing else matters. No amount of anxiety, no matter how expressed, no matter how it bubbles up, no matter how it's regionally distributed, progressive, liberal, moderate Democrats, Wisconsin, Texas, California, Massachusetts, it doesn't matter. What matters is, does somebody have the gall, the temerity, the courage, apply whatever adjective you wish, to say, not only should President Biden step aside, but I place my name in nomination and I will accept the humiliation in Chicago if I get no delegates. But somebody has got to ask the question and ask it in public. Until you hear those precious words, meaning they have value, they have meaning, I submit my name for nomination, none of this matters. It is anxiety that has no practical outlet. And more Democrats, you see the shrugging of shoulders here in Washington today. Well, if Biden's not going to step aside, I'm going to support him. What? That's what 2 weeks of hand-wringing and anxiety has created for this national party? If he won't step aside, I guess I'm going to support him? There's only one word for that. Yikes.
Yeah. Major, I want to ask you a question about Jill Biden, and I want to couch it this way. As I watched the debate, I wanted to hug Joe Biden because I felt sad. I felt like he was in distress, and it made me really uncomfortable. And it made me think about when we have an older person, and I have a 96-year-old grandpa, there comes a time where you have to take the car keys away, even if they don't want it. Why is Jill Biden holding on to this so tightly?
That's a great question. And there are lots of theories. I don't have any reporting to give you on that. I don't know. But your perception is not yours alone, John. Many people wonder, what is the deal with this? Why is Jill so adamant about staying in the race, about pursuing a second term, about not, as Democrats who wish the president would step aside now have said over and over, take the wins you have achieved. Exit the stage graciously. Do what you said you thought you were going to do in March of 2020 when you said you viewed yourself as a transitional figure within the Democratic Party, mentioning that there were lots of young Democrats who would soon take the mantle. Why don't you hand it over now? Clearly, Jill is one of the most, if not the most important voice. And I don't know all the complex reasons or motives behind that. But she was enthusiastic practically all by herself after the debate, saying President Biden did a good job.
You answered all the questions,
that ought to tell you something
Joe.
about her perspective. Yes, right. That kind of crystallizes the unknowingness, the lack of comprehension of how the rest of the world sees what you saw. And there's a big gap between those two realities. And for whatever purposes, Jill Biden wants President Biden to believe her impression of that performance, and its political impact and his longevity and his ability to win this case and not listen to lots of other Democrats who have deep misgivings.
What do you think about something that John brought up yesterday? Could he drop out during the RNC?
Steal the thunder.
Well, that's certainly right now. I will tell you because I've been living this reality for the last 12 months, as the rest of us in our country. Anything is possible. I rule out nothing. There was a time in my career covering politics when I would say with confidence, "Oh, that could never happen. Come on. That's just crazy talk." No, we've long since passed that. Anything is possible. I don't have any reporting that that's what's going to happen. I do believe there is something that will happen that hasn't happened yet. It may not be important enough to change the president's point of view, but he will see how that debate performance and how his overall look to the country is filtered through the mocking and cruel lens of a Republican National Convention. Because they're going to tee this up and they're going to hit it as hard as they possibly can. Not just to mock, not just to be cruel, but to say this is an issue of presidential leadership. It's an issue of national security. It's an issue for the country to get through because it's anxious about it. All of those things will be played out in Milwaukee. By the way, I arrived there on Saturday.
Oh, that was our next question.
Looking very much forward to it.
Okay.
A whole week in Milwaukee. It's going to be great. Republicans are going to emphasize this over and over, and there will be a political reaction to that. And if it intensifies the misgivings among Democrats, if the polls shift even more, you can't believe that Trump's not going to get any bounce from a Republican convention. He's going to get some. Everyone gets some bounce. That's going to intensify all of this. So I'm not saying it's going to change the president's mind, but it's going to force him to look at this in a way that he perhaps is not looking at it now, like an internal Democratic conversation. No, that's gentle. That's respectful. That admires you. This will not be any of those things. And you're going to get a 2x4 at the Republican National Convention about your fitness, about your mental acuity, about your ability to carry out the job day in and day out.
All right, you heard it here. Breaking news. Breaking news. Milwaukee gets smarter on Saturday. Major Garrett arrives in the Cream City to a big fanfare on Saturday. Stay tuned to WTMJ. Check us out on the mobile app for the latest information on when Major Garrett arrives at Mitchell International. That's fantastic, Major. Oh, God, it's going to be so good. We will look forward to having you here. We hope you'll come join us at our beautiful studio.
I will check in and say, "I'm sorry, sir, we don't have your name."
I've got a great guest room, and my wife would love you. So I'm going to save it for you. Major, it's always good to catch up. And by the way, I'm going to be the first to know when this new iteration of Agent of Betrayal drops. So you keep it here, and we will keep you updated.
Nice. You will get the text alert, I promise.
Major, you're always good to us. Great perspective, as always. Thank you. We're looking so much forward to seeing you next week.
Yes.
We'll see you next week.
It is 3:57 at WTMJ.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Milwaukee chef Ashley Turner competes as one of 12 grill masters on Season 5 of Food Network's Barbecue Brawl. Turner works as executive chef at Milwaukee County Zoo. The season premiered on July 8th. Delta Airlines adds flights from Milwaukee for 4 Green Bay Packers away games in the upcoming season. Fans will have round-trip options for games against the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Los Angeles Rams, the Seattle Seahawks, and the Tennessee Titans. The Washington-based Mod Pizza prepares a potential filing for bankruptcy. The bankruptcy filing could come as early as next week for the fast casual dining chain, which has more than 500 locations nationwide, including 11 in Wisconsin. I'm Linda Spice with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Business Report is sponsored by the Pfister Hotel. Make your reservations today. Visit thepfisterhotel.com.
For over 130 years, the Pfister Hotel in downtown Milwaukee has been delighting guests with impeccable service and luxurious accommodations. Celebrate your next special occasion with a stay at the Pfister. Enjoy fine dining at its acclaimed restaurants and pamper yourself with a service from the Well Spa and Salon. Experience the hotel's afternoon tea program or take in live music with the best views of the city from Blue, the 23rd floor cocktail lounge. There's always a reason to celebrate with the Pfister Hotel. Make your reservations today at thepfisterhotel.com.
There's a reason people sold to Grandview Homes instead of using a real estate agent.
The process with Grandview was virtually effortless. They give you a fair price offer, close quickly, and pay promptly.
Visit GrandviewHomes.com to discover the easiest and fastest way to sell a home.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. They are awesome. Our dogs are better dogs because of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. They're just better behaved. And here's the deal. What really ended up happening was my dogs were jumpy and barky and didn't listen. It was because I didn't know what I was doing. I was a not great dog owner. Now Bella and Baxter are better behaved. They're not perfect dogs, but they are better behaved because Sit Means Sit Dog Training taught me what to do. And I started with a free consultation. You can do that. Matt and his team, they will talk to you for free. They'll meet your dogs. You'll get going. I tell you what, you too can have a happy, confident, obedient dog. I know because my dogs are better dogs. It's Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Let them help you like they helped us. Sit Means Sit Dog Training.
Buying a home should be a joy, but could you imagine doing this without a realtor? Paperwork, inspections, appraisals, deadlines, showings, market research? Or you could relax. Or understanding legal documents, negotiating offers, coordinating inspections, securing finance. Oh, sorry. A realtor can take the stress out of the home buying process. See how at wra.org/a-realtor-can. Brought to you by the Wisconsin Realtors Association.
Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
Goodyear, Dunlop, Kelly, Continental, General, you name it, we got it.
Plus, free flat tire repair, free tire rotations, and more.
So when you're due for tire service, schedule it at richlawns.com.
That's Rich Lawns with 2 N's.
Rich Lawns.
Get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval to buy at accunet.com.
At Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, we have finance options for new exterior remodeling projects for almost anybody. And if you have the right credit, we'll beat your bank's rate.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Social Security benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Unable to work due to health problems? Let Tayback help you get approved for the Social Security benefits you're entitled to. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
These pirates are a long way from sea. Time to rock the boat.
Fly ball, center field. This is deep. Outman back. At the track. Bye-bye baseball!
Our Brewers Pirates coverage begins tonight at 6 with Brewers Warm-Up on your home for the Brewers. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
I'm John Mercure. Your top story, Policy Fest comes to Milwaukee.
I'm Julia Fellow. Phase 1 parking restrictions begin.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and southbound 43, we did have the right lane blocked with a broken down vehicle just south of Bender Road. Looks like that might be cleared now. Delays are still stretching back towards Brown Deer, so be careful with that. Also got word about a possible incident that was happening between North and Locust on northbound 43. Just keep your eyes peeled as you're heading through that area. Westbound on 94, slowing down a bit from about 25th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound's got pockets of heavy traffic starting around 76th Street through the stadium. And then southbound 41 is a bit backed up from before Appleton Avenue, pretty much all the way down past Hampton. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, it's going to be mostly cloudy and a low of 67. Tomorrow, maybe a little rain in the afternoon, a high of 75. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the group behind Project 2025 is listed as a sponsor for the upcoming Republican National Convention.
The Heritage Foundation is listed on the RNC Host Committee's website as a partner and plans to hold both a Policy Fest downtown on Monday and a closed social event Wednesday at Uncle Buck's Bar. Project 2025 is billed as a roadmap for the next Republican president. Among the plans includes the dissolution of the Department of Education. Former President Donald Trump has previously attempted to distance himself from the proposal, and the Heritage Foundation has said the project does not speak for any candidate or campaign. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Getting around the downtown area will already be a challenge, but even if you do bring a car in, where are you going to put it?
Parking restrictions around the downtown area have started to take effect. The city of Milwaukee is putting restrictions in place in phases. And depending on where you are, the areas where you can park will slowly but surely start shrinking. In fact, the first restrictions are already in place, with Phase 1 on Knapp and Juneau from Water Street to Market, and Phase 3 affecting the areas within the inner security perimeter right around Fiserv Forum. Check our website, WTMJ.com, to see a detailed map. Debbie Loziga, WTMJ News.
DPW tells WTMJ that 27 citations have already been given out, with 21 vehicles towed.
A family reeling from an apartment fire on Milwaukee's northwest side says their limited belongings have been stolen. Fred Sanders lives in an apartment complex on 84th and Mill that was struck by fire on the 4th of July. He says someone has broken into that apartment and stole lots of stuff.
We go in there today, everything is gone. They took our electronics, they went through our closets, took our stuff, took our money out of our pockets.
Witnesses say they saw fireworks being set off in the area about the time that the fire started. Coming up, an emergency subcommittee in Louisiana taking up a fight against beetles.
Plus, Lara Trump's big tease to the convention. Some big names may be coming to Milwaukee. Who they might be.
Siding Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 4:05.
This report is sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. SidingUnlimited.com.
Does your home need a new defensive coach? Have wind, cold, or water breached? I recommend Siding Unlimited. Wind and cold get through your windows? Siding Unlimited fixes that. Water challenging your roof? Siding Unlimited fixes that too. Is the siding letting the elements through or just looking offensive? Fixing that is Siding Unlimited's first and continuing specialty. When weather's offense beats your home's defense, contact Siding Unlimited. Their name says siding, but they are so much more. Whatever the breach, put Siding Unlimited in. Their good work is on display at their unique outside-in showroom. They're waiting for you. What are you waiting for? SidingUnlimited.com.
Don't let spring allergies make you miserable. Try the quick, drug-free solution trusted by over 4 million people. Navage. Only Navage uses suction to flush out your sinuses using refreshing saline, helping you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. And here's even better news. Navage is now available at your local Sam's Club in a great new value pack. It's everything you need to start breathing better fast. Check out Navage at your local Sam's Club today. Navage. Navage. Breathe easy.
Life hack number 7. Get an iPhone 12 on Straight Talk.
Life hack.
Here's how it works. You walk into Walmart, go to the electronics section, ask for iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system, and select the new Silver Unlimited plan. They'll smile because it's a good plan. You get real unlimited data all for just $20 a month for the whole first year. Get it at Walmart or StraightTalk.com. Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Taxes and fees apply. Requires activation of iPhone 12 and a new Silver Unlimited plan or higher end auto pay enrollment. $25 a month service credit applied for up to 12 months if eligibility requirements are met. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com.
Siding Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 4:07.
Louisiana lawmakers gather at the state capitol to discuss some major threat to crucial industry. Here's ABC's Jim Ryan.
The lumber industry supports 9,000 jobs and pumps nearly $2 billion into the Louisiana economy every year. But last summer's drought made pine trees more vulnerable to bark beetles, threatening the trees themselves and anyone who might be around if a tree falls. Today, the Emergency Beetles Subcommittee of the Louisiana House Committee on Agriculture will meet to look for solutions. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Brewers begin a 6-game homestand tonight against the Pirates. Coverage after the 6 o'clock news on WTMJ. And Bucks superstar Giannis Antetokounmpo will carry the flag for Greece at the Olympics opening ceremony in Paris. Greece always leads the Parade of Nations, so he'll be the first flag bearer you see on July 26th.
The case against actor Alec Baldwin is underway. Coming up at 4:18, we talk to a reporter who's there.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 4:08.
This report is sponsored by Diamonds Direct. Your love, their passion.
Okay, I'm ready to record my jewelry store's new radio spot. I got a great script that really goes after Diamonds Direct and how they're nothing special and how we can match their price. Great stuff.
Oh, great. We have this new technology that bleeps out any false claims, so it saves us time with editing. So you can start anytime.
Okay, here goes. When you visit our jewelry store, we'll guarantee direct. Our diamonds come straight. We have cutters. And, hey, what the?
The hard truth is that other jewelry stores simply can't do what Diamonds Direct can. Diamonds Direct has special relationship with De Beers, international connections, and virtually unlimited buying power. The result is true direct importer pricing, exceptional quality, and up to 30 times the diamond selection you find at other stores.
I can't believe this thing won't let me say.
Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Get more truth at DiamondsDirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Now open in Wauwatosa.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
So happy you're with us. Hey, Laura Trump is in Wisconsin. She says to expect some unlikely people, including celebrities, to speak at next week's RNC here in Milwaukee. Take a listen.
I think you'll be very excited and I think very surprised, actually, to see a lot of the people that we're going to have speaking at the convention this year. I think, as the chairman said, look, this is a convention that really every single American should see themselves reflected in this convention. That is the goal. But I think you'll also hear from unlikely people, celebrities who maybe you've never heard from, who support Donald Trump and support conservative values in the Republican Party. They feel this is the time right now. It is important to come out, to talk about that, to talk about why this election matters so much to them, why they're voting for Donald Trump.
All right, so who could some of those celebrities be? There's lots of conservative celebrities. Tom Selleck is very outspoken. Could Tom Selleck roll in here? Dennis Miller, the comic, very conservative, very outspoken. Kelsey Grammer, the comedian, is often mentioned. Cindy Crawford.
Really?
An outspoken conservative. Could Cindy Crawford show up here? What about the music artist Meatloaf? Big Boy Meatloaf is a very big conservative. Could he show up here? You know who else is a conservative? This guy.
What do you think about when the 15th round you're coming out?
Adrian! That's Sylvester Stallone. He's very conservative. Could Sly show up here? What about this guy? This guy actually was a mayor of a town in California and is very conservative.
Go ahead. Make my day.
Yeah. Could Clint Eastwood show up on the podium? He's pretty old.
Oh,
he's almost as old as Joe Biden.
he did that.
He's actually older.
He's already done that one. Remember that empty chair he was talking to?
Yeah. How about Clint Eastwood showing up here? How good would that be?
Is he conservative?
Adam Sandler, a pronounced conservative. Could he sing the Hanukkah song from the podium in Fiserv Forum? How good would that be? Adam Sandler belting it out before Donald Trump comes walking on and the balloons fall on his head.
Here's my prediction. Maybe. If she's talking about big names, there'll be a surprise. Elon Musk?
Ooh, maybe. Could be. He's very polarizing, but he's also conservative.
Joe Rogan, maybe?
Ooh, you're picking all the ones out that are really very controversial.
Or James Woods?
Could be. How about these two walking out together? Maybe they walk out holding hands. Scott Baio and Tony Danza.
Oh, my gosh.
They're both conservative. That would be weird. Pat Sajak. Ding, 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 ding. Wheel of Fortune's done. He's got lots of time.
Really?
Pat Sajak. He's no longer going to be the host of Wheel of Fortune.
Is he conservative?
Oh, yeah. He is. He's conservative.
That would be probably a powerful one.
How about another duo that would be fun? Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson are both conservative.
Are they?
Yeah. Wedding crashers. They could be convention crashers. Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson. showing up, strolling out to the podium. How about those two guys?
Well, Vince Vaughn lives in Chicago, so.
How about one of the stars of Love Boat?
Oh, my God.
Fred Grandy, who played Gopher. He actually was an elected, I think, a U.S. representative, maybe. Fred Grandy. Laura Trump not saying who the surprise guest will be, but she says
I would say Elon Musk would be a big one.
Oh, that'd be huge.
In my opinion.
He might be too big. He would steal the thunder from Donald Trump.
She's saying big, right?
Yeah, which is of course relative. If she's saying big and Gopher from Love Boat shows up or Scott Baio,
I'm thinking like that big, like a billionaire big.
I think Stallone would be pretty cool. Arnold Schwarzenegger is conservative and a former governor.
What's funny is that Clint Eastwood's already spoken and Arnold Schwarzenegger's spoken at a convention, both of them. So that wouldn't be surprising.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Could it be Clint Eastwood? I guess we'll find out soon enough.
Were you trying to do that sound drop again?
I was not.
Okay.
I should. Okay, I'll do that again. Let's do this again. Could it be Clint Eastwood?
Go ahead. Make my day.
Oh, I remember the first time I saw that scene.
Whoa. Show is moving to a new time slot. Catch us at noon every Saturday. At Drake & Associates, we craft tailor-made plans that not only meet your financial needs, but align seamlessly with your unique lifestyle. Tune in at noon on Saturdays and get retirement ready.
Drake & Associates, LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates, LLC does not provide legal or tax advice.
I love the Fox and Hounds, voted the best supper club in the area, serving fabulous meals for almost over 90 years in their rustic timber building. John Mercure here to tell you a little bit about the Fox and Hounds. When you buy one dinner, your second dinner is free, desserts too. It's the best dining value in the state. Steak, seafood, pasta, even steak and lobster and prime rib on Wednesday, and your second dinner is free as you dine in one of the 8 elegant dining rooms at one of my favorite places because it's beautiful and it's great food. It's the famous Fox and Hounds. Check out the patio in the woods. Views are spectacular. You have a cocktail or a beer or a glass of wine on that patio in the woods. It's a great setting. Just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of the famous Holy Hill Shrine. Wherever you live, it's worth the beautiful drive through the Kettle Moraine Forest to the Fox and Hounds, a summer must-see. And gift cards are perfect year-round gifts as your second dinner is always free. Order online at foxandhoundsrestaurant.com. Brighten up your Tuesday with a free dinner tonight. Tables are open. Check it out, foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
Woo! Hey, this is Ben Brust from Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin. People can't stop screaming about the Screamin' Sicilian frozen pizza, and no wonder. There's plenty to scream about, like the buttery stone-fired crust, secret recipe tomato sauce, mounds of whole milk mozzarella, and tons of premium toppings. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer and find out for yourself why Sport called Screamin' Sicilian's Holy Pepperoni frozen pizza the best of the best. Screamin' Sicilian, taste what all the screamin' is about.
Traffic is sponsored by Hall Mazda Milwaukee. Visit hallmazdamilwaukee.com.
While you're navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you see something we should know about, call the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen Traffic Tip Line.
414-238-9329. Traffic and weather. Let's get a look at the roads with Debbie Lazaga. Hey, Deb.
Hey, Julia. Well, we got problems on 94 at 70th Street. That would be the eastbound side of 94. It is a broken down semi that's stuck in the right 3 lanes being blocked with this. It's actually stuck in the center lane. I think they've got those other lanes blocked so that they can get it out of the way. So keep that in mind if you're going to be heading through there. We got backups from 92nd Street already. Westbound is backed up out of the Marquette all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Southbound 43 on and off the brakes from about Hampton Avenue all the way down past Keith. Northbound's a little bit tight right past Kilbourne all the way up towards Fond du Lac Avenue. And then southbound 41 heavy from Appleton Avenue down past Capitol Drive. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
A light rain chance tonight, mainly south of Milwaukee, a low of 67. Tomorrow, light chance of rain in the morning, then it'll be partly cloudy in the evening, a high of 76. Thursday, partly cloudy, high of 78. Friday, pick day, mostly sunny, a high of 83. Really warms up Saturday, a slight storm chance, high of 87 degrees. In Milwaukee, it's 75 degrees.
All right, the Alec Baldwin Rust shooting trial is underway. It's jury selection. This is going to be a very interesting couple of days, probably spilling into next week. News Nation national correspondent Alex Capariello is with us outside the New Mexico courthouse. Alex, good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
So recap jury selection today. What did we learn?
Well, they had 70 potential jurors brought in, and this is that long process before really the juicy stuff starts tomorrow with opening statements, where they have to actually try to find out who their jury is going to be. That's going to be sitting inside this courtroom for the next 2 weeks, listening to both the prosecution and the defense make their arguments about the innocent or guilt of Alec Baldwin. And really, they're just trying to grill down how these people feel about very important topics that are going to play into this trial: gun ownership, law enforcement, police, whether or not this news media coverage of this very high-profile case has played into their feelings about Alec Baldwin or celebrity status. And so that's currently happening right now. It sounds as if they're getting close to the end. Both the prosecution and defense have signaled that they want this to wrap up today so that way they can get the real trial beginning tomorrow.
So, Alex, it seems like a lot of the focus today was on whether the jurors have consumed news coverage about this. This is a big national story, but obviously they're in New Mexico. This is a huge story, one of the biggest trials in the history of the state. Were there jurors that said that they really haven't consumed any news coverage or didn't know much about the case?
Yeah, this was super fascinating to me because they brought in 70 potential jurors, like I said. About 3 of them said that they had not heard anything about this case. And that makes sense, right? This is a massive celebrity that got involved in a homicide case right here in their own jurisdiction. So while most people, 95% approximately, had heard about this case, the next obvious question is whether or not, hearing about it has led you to form any strong opinions about this. Of course, the goal is to find a fair and impartial jury. It doesn't matter what you've seen, what you've heard, even the other trial that happened here in this exact same courtroom 4 months ago with Hannah Gutierrez-Reed. Have you seen any of that? Are you able to let everything that you've heard go? Are you able to be fair and impartial to both the prosecution and the defense in Alec Baldwin?
And something for the defense that was kind of a win here. His role as producer is not relevant to the trial, according to the judge. Now, will the armor, who's already been convicted, be testifying in this case?
I know that she was subpoenaed. It's unclear to me at this point whether or not she will ultimately be called. But yeah, that first thing that you said, the fact that the judge ruled that his role as a producer will not be admissible for the jury to hear or consider is huge for the defense. Obviously, the main prosecution's argument, or at least what we were thinking that they would really try to make the jury understand, was that even as an actor, he may not have as much fault because he's given a gun that he says is not filled with live ammunition. But as a producer, you certainly know about the production pace, whether or not the people that you hire are credible or are of sound mind. So the fact that that is not going to be something that the jury considers was a major victory for the defense.
So you were there in the courtroom. Can you take us inside? What did Alec Baldwin look like? Was Hilaria there?
Yeah, Hilaria was there, as well as Alec Baldwin's brother, Stephen. They were there to provide some support and just sort of be a shoulder to lean on. Alec Baldwin arrived with them, as well as his defense attorneys, in 2 tinted black SUVs, but he didn't answer any sort of questions from us. There was a larger media presence than many of the other trials that I've covered throughout the history of my career. There's a lot of people that are interested in this, but ultimately Alec Baldwin seemed pretty cool, calm, and collected. While he didn't answer any of our questions, I did have a chance to observe him speaking to Stephen and Hilaria before the jury selection process really began, and he seemed calm and relaxed.
Are there cameras in the court?
Not today. The jury selection process is a very private matter. They don't want any of these potential jurors to be exposed, so we have no access or sight to the actual courtroom today. We're in an overfill room. That being said, we can watch and listen to the types of questions that the jury is being asked. We can observe and hear the types of professions that these people do for a living, what their views and values are. But ultimately, when this trial kicks off tomorrow, yes, there will be cameras in the courtroom. We'll be able to see and hear everything.
How many witnesses are there expected to be, Alex, and how long are they saying the trial could take?
There should be upwards of 60 witnesses that are on that list. Now, whether or not they're all called is yet to be seen. Typically, in my experience, I would say, ballpark 75% of them end up being called to the stand. The judge seems very committed to this date of July 19th, closing this whole thing up. So we should expect this trial at least to continue through next week, and then we'll see how long deliberations take, whether that bleeds into the week after that.
There's a lot on the line. 18 months behind bars, I believe, for this manslaughter case.
Yeah, exact same sentence that Hannah Gutierrez-Reed was convicted for back in March. You know, she was the armor that was in charge of the guns. She was found guilty of involuntary manslaughter. She's currently appealing that sentence, but she is behind bars at this very moment. So the exact same thing could be said when all is said and done for Alec Baldwin. And everything around this is that he says that he did not pull the trigger, that he just cocked it back. Yep, that's what he has said publicly. That's what he maintains to this day. I think that's going to be a very central part of the trial that we hear, whether or not it's an actor's responsibility, one, to check the gun, if there is live ammunition, two, whether or not it is irresponsible or negligent to actually pull a trigger, whether or not he actually did pull the trigger, whether or not something like that can be verified.
News Nation's Alex Capariello in New Mexico. Going to be fascinating. Alex, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
It's 424 WTMJ. We're getting new details on what the week will look like next week when it comes to the RNC. The schedule, the detailed schedule is out. We're going to walk you through some of that. Dr. Ben Weston is with us also during the 4 o'clock hour. And one major retailer says no more personal checks. That's all before we get you to 5 o'clock. It is 424 WTMJ.
As you age, you start noticing pain in your joints that didn't used to be there. But you don't have to live in pain. When joint pain becomes a reality, schedule your free pain evaluation with Rejuvenex. We'll find where your pain lives and inject powerful, FDA-approved medicines that reduce inflammation and pain while improving mobility in hips, shoulders, elbows, and knees, with some patients experiencing relief for greater than 2 years before repeating the process. While treatments like stem cells can cost close to $10,000 per joint, at Rejuvenex, the cost for your injection can be as low as $65, and almost all major insurance plans cover our treatments, so you may not have to pay anything at all. Call us now to schedule your free pain evaluation, because I'm pretty sure we can help you. This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Clinics, where we can alleviate your pain and rejuvenate your life. Go to Rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Hey, John Mercure here. Man, did I have a great morning. I spent the morning at the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin Experience Center. They don't have a showroom. They have an experience center. This is so cool. Here's a little inside baseball for you. You know the Apple store that we all love to go to, those Apple stores, how they're designed and how they're uniquely architected? The same people designed the Pella Windows and Doors Experience Center. You walk in there and you see all the choices, doors and windows. Gina Dello was there today. I hung out with Gina Dello, and she was reminding me that a window for every home and budget is what they do at Pella. The Experience Center lets you check all that out. Don't want to go anywhere? They've got a showroom on wheels, $30,000 worth of samples in each sales rep's vehicle. It's a rolling showroom, and they've got a great deal going on right now. This is the time to get on board with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Pay as low as $18 per window, $81 per patio door per month. $18 per window, $81 per patio door. It's sweet. Certain restrictions do apply. Offer ends later this month, so do it now. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit PellaWI.com today. PellaWI.com today. They are simply the best. It's Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
The July sale on Norwalk Furniture is on now at Ken Michaels Furniture. Save 40% on showroom pieces that are ready for immediate delivery, or in just 35 days, you can create a look that reflects your unique style with over 850 fabric and leather options. From family-friendly to on-point designs, these fabrics are durable and fashionable, and our design service is free to help you put it all together. For better quality American-made upholstery, stop in today and save at any Ken Michaels Furniture locations in Greenfield, Brookfield, or downtown. Get a better night's sleep and save money on a Milwaukee mattress. For over 70 years, our family has been making mattresses and selling them direct to your family. By cutting out distribution costs, you can save up to 50% and get a better night's sleep on a premium mattress. Go green with natural latex. Reduce tossing and turning at night by reducing pressure points on your body. This is one of our most popular mattresses. Stop in today and take a test rest at any of our Ken Michaels Furniture locations in Greenfield, Brookfield, or downtown.
Time for the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Mixed day today. The NASDAQ was up 26 points. The S&P was up 4 points. The Dow was down about 53 points. on the day on your Tuesday. Get an honest opinion of where you are financially and where you're headed. Work with a fee-only fiduciary. Start at AnnexWealth.com. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Gorgeous new roofs, showstopper siding, or classic brick and stonework. How about modern windows and regal doors that'll make your chin hit the floor? To a lot of people, having these things can really make them enjoy where they live. It makes them proud. But there's always one thing standing in the way. How do I make that happen? At Semperfi Roofing and Exteriors, we have excellent financing options for most people in most situations. 12 months, no interest, no payments, and exceptional rates for long-term loans that will beat your bank with no additional fees or hidden costs. You can go to SemperfiRoofing.com to apply for your pre-approval today. We want to make any project affordable to almost any person, and we've gone out of our way to find partners that can help make it happen for you. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semperfi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semperfi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semperfi.
Ask about our finance options.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead. It's swimming season, or for some of us, golfing or gardening season, but you're not out there enjoying your favorite hobby because you're sidelined from arthritic joint pain. Bone-on-bone pain in your knees or hips, maybe? Here's what you do. You call QC Kinetics. There are exciting new cellular therapies that can get you the lasting relief you need. QC Kinetics is helping patients all the time. I'm talking cutting-edge treatments that accelerate your own body's healing properties, revitalizing your joints so you can move again. It's not sorcery, it's technology, and you don't need surgery. Call QC Kinetics. The local professionals at QC Kinetics in Greenfield and in Mequon are ready to help you. Here's the phone number, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation, 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today.
Traffic is sponsored by Two Men and a Junk Truck. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't.
From removing unwanted clutter or junk to full-service residential or commercial cleanouts, get a free same-day estimate at twomenandajuncktruck.com. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 4:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story, a deadly crash involving a valet worker.
I'm Julia Fellow. Post-tropical barrel heads our way.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. We're still seeing some problems with this broken down vehicle that is blocking the three right lanes on 94 eastbound at 70th Street. So things are backed up pretty much all the way back past Highway 100, almost to the county line. We've also got some delays westbound 94 out of the Marquette all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Southbound 43 still backed up from before Hampton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive to about Keefe. Northbound is backing up from Fond du Lac Avenue up to Keefe. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, chance for rain, a low of 67. Tomorrow, chance for rain in the morning, a high of 75 degrees. It's currently 73. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a valet worker at a downtown Milwaukee hotel accused of taking a car and causing a fatal crash. 23-year-old Marco Gomez charged with first-degree reckless homicide, knowingly operating a vehicle without consent, and homicide by intoxicated use of a vehicle. 29-year-old Michael Starks from Brown Deer died after Gomez crashed into him near 11th Street and Wisconsin Avenue. Gomez had been speeding, ran a red light at about 11:45 on June 3rd. In the criminal complaint, Gomez admits to taking a hotel guest rental car while under the influence. Valet service Town Park says he was not working for the valet during the incident. Gomez is in custody on a $100,000 bail.
A judge has ruled that a Wauwatosa curfew imposed in 2020 against protests targeting police officer Joseph Mensah violated state law. The attorney, Kate Knowlton, tells the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel the judge found no facts to dispute the claim that the city and mayor violated that state statute. The protest stemmed from the Milwaukee County District Attorney John Chisholm's decision not to charge Officer Mensah in the shooting death of 17-year-old Alvin Cole, leading to the Wisconsin National Guard being called and nearly 70 arrests. Knowlton says anyone whose case is still ongoing for violating the curfew can argue their citation to be void.
It's no longer a hurricane, but the remnants of Beryl are expected to brush southeast Wisconsin.
It is going to bring a pretty good swath of heavy rainfall just to our south.
Storm Team 4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznansky on Wisconsin's Morning News. Beryl made landfall as a Category 1 storm Monday. It's lost most of its punch and is only expected to clip southeast Wisconsin. Chicago right in the storm's path.
That's the difference between maybe 4 or 5 inches of rain and maybe a quarter inch or so of rain.
Vince Vitrano, WTMJ News.
A new study looks at just how many violent deaths in the U.S. involves guns. ABC's Brian Clark.
Suicides and homicides were more common among American men, and more of those deaths involved guns in 2021. A CDC study into the causes of violent deaths found that out of the 75,000 in the U.S. that year, almost 60% involved a gun. The numbers also showed that suicides most frequently followed physical or mental health problems, along with bad news or interpersonal conflicts. Homicides were linked most often to intimate partner violence, but also occur with arguments and other crimes. Brian Clark, ABC News.
Water bills are being delayed in the city of Middleton due to a coding issue. The city says they anticipate the problem will be resolved this week and paper statements will be mailed out by Friday. Due to the delay, the city of Middleton will issue a temporary grace period for payments to Friday, August 16th.
The Brewers' final homestand before the All-Star break begins tonight on American Family Field. The team's success and attitude could be attributed to the first-year manager, but don't expect him to take any credit.
It's a really fun team to be a part of.
When you hear outfielder Christian Yelich say this on WTMJ.
You see young players take strides to get better. You see them improve. It's really cool to see.
He sounds like his manager, Pat Murphy. He sounds like you. So clearly whatever you're doing is rubbing off.
Well, I don't know about that. Christian in his own
Murphy on Wisconsin's Morning News, always deflecting the attention away from him and giving it back to the players.
It's a beautiful thing, man. We got the right people, and I think that's what you have to emphasize.
Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. The first-place Brewers begin a 6-game homestand tonight against the Pirates. Coverage of tonight's game begins after the 6 o'clock news on WTMJ. And Bucks superstar Giannis Antetokounmpo will be the first flag bearer you see at the Olympics opening ceremony in Paris. He'll be carrying the flag for Greece.
Coming up, we got hold of a master list sharing the major events happening each day during the RNC. We go through it next.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 4:35.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely baseball season. This is your place to catch every pitch.
Here it is. He struck him out swinging.
Home run.
Going back onto the track. It is gone. Mike Brasso goes deep.
And everything in between.
I want to find that tape. We got to find that tape. We'd be better off listening to adhesive tape.
We are the home of the Brewers on WTMJ.
Stay and play in Lake Geneva, the Midwest's premier golf destination. With 10 challenging courses for all abilities and skill levels, breathtaking views, crystal clear lakes, and rolling fairways. Enjoy an all-inclusive golf getaway with luxurious lodging, distinctive dining, and a relaxing spa. Plan a group golf outing, a corporate event, or a weekend getaway with friends or family. For course information and more, go to visitlakegeneva.com. Lake Geneva. It's always been the place for legendary golf.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
RNC will be going this time next week. We will be rocking. It'll be day 2.
I know, and a master calendar has just been released. So starting Sunday, there's a lot of things that are closed or open, but I'm just going to name just a few because there's some really great landmarks where people will be. Utah Republican Party, they're all over the place. On Sunday, they're at the historic Pabst Brewery from 4 to 6. RNC is hosting a huge welcome party, as we all know, because it's in that red zone,
yes.
Henry Meyer Festival Park.
Big concert down there.
6 to 10. That will be huge. And it seems like the Daily Show is going to be doing something for a good cause. That'll be coming up soon. So we'll just say it. We'll just put it like that. On Monday, the official session starts at 12:45. So there you go. So that's going to be the first round of some delegates, some.
Will there be speakers?
Popular names. Yeah, usually there's speakers and nobody's really listening, John.
I wonder who's going to carry that. Like, that's not ABC, NBC breaking into programming, but I wonder if Fox, CNN, Will they have the speakers, or will it be like C-SPAN? Will somebody be carrying that?
I think C-SPAN will. It might be like Glenn Grothman or Brian Stiles speaking during that time. And then we got the really, really big leagues in session number 2. That's what they're calling it. 5:45 to 10 p.m. So that's the big leagues.
So including prime time on all the TV networks. Yep.
Convention Fest. So this is the street festival. So that could be the keynote speaker that night. We could announce
on Tuesday. Is that
we could announce the VP?
Could be.
The New Hampshire GOP and Arkansas GOP will have a breakfast and speaking program at the Grand Geneva Forum in Lake Geneva. It's happening everywhere. And the U.S. Concealed Carry Association is holding an event, Defend and Protect, at the Pfister. Utah Republican Party again. They're all over the place. Harley Davidson and the Republican Black Mayors Association will be at the Iron Horse Hotel.
So these are just the ones we know of, right? Like every delegation's going to be doing things, but we don't know all 50 of their plans.
One of them is going to be right here at the 3rd Street Market Hall. A few of them.
Ooh, that's good.
And it's public knowledge. This is all public knowledge. Wednesday, another street festival, and then the official session Wednesday. That's going to be a big night. That's kind of a tease to Thursday when the former president comes. And then Thursday will be a prayer breakfast, nomination day prayer breakfast, a lot of prayers breakfasts that are happening.
We need a lot of prayers.
Yeah.
And please, everybody pray.
Yes, the Hispanic Leadership Coalition will be there. There's Black Conservative Federation that will be here. Gosh, a whole bunch.
I'm going to hold my own prayer breakfast. If you have somebody you want me to pray for, text me at 855-616-1620. I will add it to my prayer breakfast list. I hope I might want to make this like a 7-hour prayer breakfast. There's so many people to pray for.
Here it is again. The Utah Republican Party. They're going to have a luncheon at Hubbard Park Lodge in Shorewood. Why do I not know? Oh, I know where that is.
So see, these are just the ones that have made it public. Every delegation, like I talked to the Wisconsin delegation, a guy there who's helping us with stuff.
Yeah.
They also have this many things every single day. They just haven't released it. Utah's decided we want everybody to know. Virginia is having a big thing at Mater's. Their governor,
I knew that one.
Their governor, Youngkin, who's often mentioned as a rising star in the party, he's a moderate Republican, is going to head that up. That'll be at Mater's. I think that's maybe on Tuesday night.
Oh, I was wondering who was going to have Discovery World. The Conservative Climate Foundation has a bunch of events during the week. Interesting.
So Whirly Ball in Brookfield, where the Republicans are, the Utah Republicans, that is so fun. Whirly Ball is like dodgeball on go-karts. You have go-karts and you roll around. You have balls, and you try to throw them at targets that are hanging on the wall.
Where do you see Whirly Ball?
Whirly Ball on Thursday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Oh, I'm there.
The Utah Republican Party is going to have that. A lot of the Republicans from the western states are staying in the Brookfield area.
Yeah, historic Pabst Brewery. That's the area that I got married. Beautiful location. Crown Plaza, Pfister.
That's nice.
Everything you could think of. The really nice spots in
So
Milwaukee.
it's going to be great stuff inside the security zone and a lot of stuff outside the security zone throughout southeast Wisconsin. And if they're looking for something to drink when they're in town, there's a list out of the most popular cocktails by state. The most popular cocktail in Wisconsin, this is measured by Google searches. What cocktails do we search for the most often? So it's that dynamic, because we all know the Old Fashioned's the most popular. But we don't need to search for that because we know how to make them. So what are people
Very hard
searching
to
for?
make.
The number one search cocktail in Wisconsin is the margarita. Like we don't know how to make a margarita. The most searched for cocktail in the United States is one of my favorite cocktails, the Aperol Spritz. That is the most searched for. Do you like Aperol Spritz?
What's in it?
It's got Prosecco, so it's nice and bubbly.
My fave.
And it has Aperol, which has an orange taste. That's a liqueur. And then a little splash of club soda. It's the one you see like in Italy that's got a very orange color. It looks really, really pretty. It's on chipped ice.
I would totally have that.
Yeah, the Prosecco makes it really nice.
Wow.
And by the way, we're broadcasting our show from 3 to 6 every day of the convention. We're inside Panther Arena. We're going to bring you the people. We're going to bring you the action. We're going to bring you what's happening in our city from 3 to 6.
Yes, we're going to make sure that we cover all angles that nobody's going to be talking about on normal news channels.
We got you covered. I'm really excited. We already got a bunch of cool guests lined up.
I know. It's going to be really, this is going to be big.
It's going to be awesome. Our plan is basically to come in the morning, and then we're going to head right over there where all the people are just wandering around between the Baird Center, Panther Arena, Fiserv, the hotels in the zone. and try to talk to people.
I'll be gathering everything for you, and John will be doing the same and just
Yep.
finding the biggest heavy hitters and bring them over during the show. We're on it.
We're going to bring it to you. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. It is 4:43 at WTMJ. Some very interesting health news. COVID, whooping cough. I know you might not want to talk about COVID, but there's some very interesting developments. We don't spend a lot of time talking about COVID, but we will up next right here on WTMJ. Dr. Ben Weston is with us after the break. WTMJ's John Mercure here. Join me as we count down to the RNC in Milwaukee. We'll talk to the biggest names across the political landscape.
The idea of having the convention here is to advertise the city of Milwaukee. And it's not good advertising for the city of Milwaukee if they're throwing Molotov cocktails and overturning cop cars.
Full podcast available on WTMJ.com or text RNC to the Old National Bank Talk and Text line and get a link sent directly to you.
Decision Wisconsin 2024 coverage is presented by Pasternak and Zerga Bell.
Looking for an unforgettable adventure for this summer? EAA Air Venture Oshkosh in July. So my brother Jason and I, my brother Jeff and I, we grew up spending time in Oshkosh. Jason's telling me all the time that Oshkosh is his favorite place in the whole world. He think he might take his family to EAA this year. They have flying simulators, creating model rockets, watching the world's finest airshow performers. There's something for aviators of all ages at EAA Air Venture in Oshkosh. Fuel your imagination and be part of the world of flight. And best of all, kids 18 and under are free. You hear that, Jason? 18 and under are free. Thanks in part to the Boeing Company. EAA Air Venture Oshkosh, July 22nd through the 28th. We're doing the show from there on that Friday. Get your tickets today at eaa.org/tickets.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
A buck. In today's world, it doesn't go far, unless you're spending it at Griffin. Because for just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. Buy one or a whole set. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, we'll put you in new tires for just $1 over our cost, with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. That's right, $1 over cost, and we'll even show you the invoice to prove it. So what's the catch? There really is no catch. You don't have to buy a car or truck from us. We'd like to sell you one, though. Our only requirements is we put them on for you. You buy one, two, or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin at Griffin. Available at Griffin Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram, 27th Street and Jefferson. Griffin Chevy in the Auto Mall. Griffin Ford, Waukesha, and Fort Atkinson. 5 ways to make your dollar go further. Griffin, the buck stops here, but the deals on tires don't. $1 over cost, that's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Fleet Farm is here to help you get ready for fun on the water. This week, get 25% off our entire selection of water towables. Single, double, even triple rider inflatables. They're all on sale. Plus, don't miss Kids Fishing Day, Saturday, July 13th from 10 a.m. through 1 p.m. We'll be hosting fun, interactive fishing lessons and games for kids of all ages. Find great deals on everyday summer fun at Fleet Farm.
Traffic is sponsored by Kowal Investment Group, the retirement specialists. Retire well with Kowal.
A strong retirement plan should go beyond investment management. At Kowal Investment Group, our fiduciary advisors can help you reach your retirement goals. Call us today or visit us online at thekowalway.com.
Traffic and weather. Hey, Deb, how are the roads looking?
Well, it's getting a little bit more difficult. We've got eastbound 94 right about at 70th Street with the 3 right lanes blocked with that broken down semi. But in the backups, we've got, or actually on the eastbound side, on the backups, right about at 84th Street, you got a crash off on the right shoulder to add to the delays. 894 southbound, right about at Greenfield Avenue, we got the right lane blocked with a crash there. And then on southbound 43, that's just heavy, basically from Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol Drive. Northbound's heavy from Fond du Lac all the way up to Keefe. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Light rain chance possible tonight, mainly south of Milwaukee, a low 67. Tomorrow, light rain chance in the morning, partly cloudy in the evening, a high of 76. Thursday, partly cloudy, a high of 78. Friday, sunny, pick day, a high of 83. Saturday, slight storm chance, mostly sunny and warmer, a high of 87 degrees. The current temperature in Milwaukee is 75.
Time for the Milwaukee Health Briefing. We are excited to be joined by Dr. Ben Weston. He's with the Medical College of Wisconsin and the Chief Health Policy Advisor for Milwaukee County. Dr. Weston, thank you so much for spending some time with us.
Nice to be with you.
Hey, we're going to try to cover some ground here. I want to ask you to start with about these weight loss drugs. There have been several reports lately about some of these popular drugs and diabetes medications being linked to a lower risk of some cancer. What can you tell us about those studies?
Yeah, so we know from past research that folks who are overweight or obese are at a higher risk of certain types of cancer. So it's reasonable to assume that losing weight with these sort of medications can help reduce your risk of cancer. But of course, we want research to confirm that that's the case. So this study we're talking about, it looked at folks with type 2 diabetes. They're treated with these GLP-1 drugs that we've heard of, Ozempic, Wegovy, and they're less likely to be diagnosed with a lot, 10 out of 13 of the obesity-related cancers, as compared to folks who aren't taking these, who are on more typical insulin-type regimen. Now, it's important to remember this is preliminary evidence of the potential benefit of these meds, so we do need some more research, but it is encouraging.
So I wanted to ask you about that in a little greater detail. These are relatively new drugs. They're certainly new in popularity. Can we put a lot of stock in a drug that really doesn't have a long runway behind it?
Well, it's a good point. It's an important point. So when it comes to this study and other studies similar to it, we have to remember, like you said, these are pretty new drugs. They're new to the market. And so really we want to look at long-term impact. We need a lot more research, large numbers of patients, large groups over longer periods of time, and ideally in peer-reviewed journals. So we'll certainly keep an eye out for that.
And it's great to see the positives, and I've heard a lot about it. And what about the fact that you could possibly lose your eyesight with a rare type of eye disease that they were talking about with these GLP-1 inhibitors?
Right, so these are certainly something to keep an eye on, these sort of side effects. Even if they are rare side effects, with these new medications, we want to watch and see, are these side effects more with the medication than without the medication? And that means studying large groups over longer periods of time. So something to keep an eye on.
Dr. Ben Weston is with us. Dr. Weston, I want to ask you about something that seems to be happening right now, a spike in whooping cough cases in Wisconsin, a big increase. Let's start with what is whooping cough, and should we be concerned about the uptick?
Yeah, so whooping cough, or the scientific term is pertussis, this is a highly contagious respiratory infection. It's especially dangerous in children who are too young to have completed their full course of vaccinations, or teenagers or adults whose immunity has either faded or they never were vaccinated. But the highest risk is the really young. Babies that are younger than a year old can certainly have severe complications from whooping cough or pertussis.
What are the symptoms? How do we know if it's not just a summer cold?
Yeah, so it starts off like that. It starts off similar to a cold, but that cough just persists. It can persist for weeks, even months. And for a lot of folks, it progresses to this sort of severe hacking cough. You run out of breath, and then you kind of do this whoop sound as you're taking a breath back in. Now, babies and young children may not cough at all. Instead, they may have difficulty breathing or pauses in their breathing. But as you mentioned, it starts off just seeming like a cold.
How do we prevent it? Is there a way to actually prevent it?
Yeah, I mean, the short answer is simple. There's a vaccine. So it's the pertussis vaccine. It's often bundled with other vaccines. So it's like tetanus. It's called the Tdap shot. It's usually given about every 10 years. It's recommended for everybody, but it's most important for especially pregnant women. They want to get it for every pregnancy. And then other folks who are having contact, particularly with infants, since they're at higher risk. And of course, you want to do all the stuff that everybody should be doing to prevent spreading respiratory illnesses to others. So avoid others when you're sick, wash your hands, use hand sanitizer, and cover your mouth and nose when you're sneezing or coughing.
Can we talk about the COVID surge? Some people are talking about it, and many people, it's just part of our life now. What is the flirt variant?
Yeah, so this is the newest variant we're seeing, and we do hear news about this surge, and it's true, cases are going up. We've seen increase in cases every summer, but make no mistake, we're at a relatively very good point when it comes to COVID, especially here in the Midwest. Viral activity is low. We're not seeing a lot of folks hospitalized. But of course, we want to be aware of our more at-risk groups. Those are folks who are immunocompromised, as well as older age groups, as always, are going to get more sick if they get COVID.
Dr. Ben Weston is with us on WTMJ. Been waiting to have this discussion with you, Dr. Weston. It involves social media and kids. And I think we don't think about social media having a medical impact, but certainly the research shows that maybe it does, especially when it comes to mental health. And recently, the U.S. Surgeon General called for warning labels like we see on cigarettes for social media platforms. Background for us. What do we know about the prevalence of social media with our youngest?
Yeah, so I'll give you some numbers, and to me, these numbers are kind of staggering. So 95% of teenagers 13 to 17 use social media. About a third of them say they use it almost constantly. And in terms of duration, we're seeing teens spending an average of 5 hours a day on social media. I can't imagine spending 5 hours a day on social media, but that's how much the average teenager, the average, not the high-end users, just the average teenager is spending every day.
All right. So is there research that shows what impact it actually has? How do we know it's bad for our kids?
Yeah, I mean, the research is mixed. So there are some positives, okay? So the positive side, it helps kids stay in touch with friends. It helps them find communities with shared identities, and that can be important for folks who are vulnerable or more marginalized groups. But to be sure, there are negative impacts, and the impacts are specifically on mental health. So I'll tell you, one study reported teens who spend more than 3 hours a day, remember the average is 5 hours, those who spend more than 3 hours a day on social media have a significantly higher risk of mental health problems such as depression and anxiety. So I think in the end, we want to limit social media, and it's been shown to improve mental health. So limiting usage to 30 minutes a day over 3 weeks has been shown to lead to improvements in those sort of depressive symptoms.
Do you like the idea of labels?
I like the idea of getting more information out there about these issues around social media. I think parents need to talk openly with their kids about social media use, maybe make a family plan that sets limits, just like we do on screen time and things like that. Think of social media as a special category within there. Talk about privacy settings, how to navigate online environments safely, make sure conversations are age appropriate. In the end, it's just talk to your kids. Talk to your kids about what's going on in their life and, of course, what's going on in their social media life as well.
Dr. Ben Weston. All right. We always ask Dr. Raymond this. Can you tell us your good news of the week?
Oh, my good news of the week. Well, as you may know, I work in the emergency department at Froedtert and the MCW. And as an academic hospital, these first weeks of July means arrival of our newly minted doctors, our intern. So it's a fun week to work, fun weeks to work, and certainly an exciting time and academic medicine at its finest. That's my highlight this week.
That's a great highlight. Mm-hmm. New white coats coming into the buildings.
That's right. That's right. It's fun times.
Dr. Ben Weston is the associate professor at the Medical College of Wisconsin and also Milwaukee County's Chief Health Policy Advisor. He's got like 10 other titles, but we only have a 3-hour show. Dr. Weston, thank you so much. We always appreciate when you make some time for us.
Good to talk to you both. Take care.
It is 4:56 at WTMJ. Here's business headlines.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Delta Airlines adds flights from Milwaukee for 4 Green Bay Packers away games in the upcoming season. Fans will have round-trip options for games against the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Los Angeles Rams, the Seattle Seahawks, and the Tennessee Titans. The Washington-based Mod Pizza prepares a potential filing for bankruptcy. The bankruptcy filing could come as early as next week for the fast casual dining chain, which has more than 500 locations nationwide, including 11 in Wisconsin. Milwaukee chef Ashley Turner competes as one of 12 grill masters on Season 5 of Food Network's Barbecue Brawl. Turner works as executive chef at Milwaukee County Zoo. The season premiered on July 8th. I'm Linda Spice with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Business headlines sponsored by the Pfister Hotel. Make your reservations today. Visit thepfisterhotel.com.
For over 130 years, the Pfister Hotel in downtown Milwaukee has been delighting guests with impeccable service and luxurious accommodations. Celebrate your next special occasion with a stay at the Pfister. Enjoy fine dining at its acclaimed restaurants and pamper yourself with a service from the Well Spa and Salon. Experience the hotel's afternoon tea program or take in live music with the best views of the city from Blue, the 23rd floor cocktail lounge. There's always a reason to celebrate with the Pfister Hotel. Make your reservations today at thepfisterhotel.com.
After a serious crash with a semi-truck, everything can change instantly. Your future, your family's future, your quality of life. That's why knowledge and results matter in big truck cases. And not all law firms have the know-how or the resources to handle these complicated cases. At Gruberg Law Offices, we have the experience it takes to make sure you're protected. And there's never a fee until we win your case. Gruberg Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Hey, John Mercure here for Sit Mean Sit Dog Training. Bella and Baxter are my corgi dogs, and they're absolutely fantastic. Drove with them 17 hours each direction to Hilton Head, and they were so well behaved, and in large part it's because Sit Mean Sit Dog Training has taught us how to handle the dogs. At Sit Mean Sit, they get it. Sit Mean Sit is great with little dogs, with big dogs, with younger dogs, and with older dogs. It's Sit Mean Sit Dog Training. You can start with a free consultation. That's what we did. Matt and his team, they'll meet you. You'll meet the trainers. You all get connected, and before you know it, ba-boom, you've got a happy, confident, obedient dog. It's Sit Mean Sit Dog Training. Start with that free consultation. Check out the website, sitmeanssitwaukesha.com.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
Since 1955, Geis has been the trusted garage authority in Wisconsin. Hey, don't let a busted garage door get you down. Call my friends at Geis today. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget. They'll even build custom designs to meet your exact needs. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to geisdoors.com. You can also visit their amazing showroom in Brookfield featuring hundreds of doors and openers and their custom design room.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
Annex Wealth Management, investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning from a fee-only fiduciary. Forget commission sales pitches and financial products you don't need. Know the difference. Annex provides elite, comprehensive financial planning, customized to who you are and what you need. AnnexWealth.com.
Are you tired of being tired? Go to AdventKnows.com.
The Republican National Convention countdown is on. The RNC in Milwaukee is 6 days away, and we've got you covered with everything you need to know. This is Decision Wisconsin, presented by Pasternak and Zergabel. We are your central hub for all things RNC. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 5 o'clock. I'm John Mercure. Your top story, a home burned in a fire, then burglarized.
I'm Julia Fellow. Project 2025 sponsoring the RNC.
Trouble on 41 southbound, just south of Good Hope Road. We got the left shoulder blocked with a crash there. Delays are stretching back past the county line. We've also got an issue on 894 southbound, right about at Greenfield Avenue. The 2 right lanes are blocked with this, so obviously we're seeing big delays back through the zoo pretty much in all directions. This is to add to your headache already. Eastbound 94 at 70th Street, the 3 right lanes are blocked with a broken down semi. And then in the backups at about 84th Street, we've got another accident off on the right shoulder. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, slight chance for rain, a low of 67 degrees. Tomorrow, an isolated shower is possible, a high of 75. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a family already reeling from an apartment fire on Milwaukee's northwest side now says their limited belongings have been stolen. Fred Sanders lives in an apartment complex near 84th and Mill that was destroyed by a fire on the 4th of July. He tells TMJ4 News in the days following the fire, someone broke into his family's townhouse and stole over $1,000, an electric video gaming system, and more.
We go in there today, everything is gone. They took our electronics, they went through our closets, took our stuff, took our money out of our pockets.
An official cause of the fire remains under investigation, though witnesses say they saw fireworks being set off in the area about the time the fire started.
The group behind Project 2025 is listed as a sponsor for the upcoming Republican National Convention in Milwaukee. The Heritage Foundation is listed on the RNC Host Committee's website as a partner. Plans to hold a policy fest downtown on Monday. Former President Donald Trump has previously attempted to distance himself from the proposal, and the Heritage Foundation has said the project does not speak for any candidate or campaign.
Getting around the downtown area will be a challenge, but even if you get a car in, where are you going to park it?
Parking restrictions around the downtown area have started to take effect. The city of Milwaukee is putting restrictions in place in phases. And depending on where you are, the areas where you can park will slowly but surely start shrinking. In fact, the first restrictions are already in place with Phase 1 on Knapp and Juneau from Water Street to Market, and Phase 3 affecting the areas within the inner security perimeter right around Fiserv Forum. Check our website, WTMJ.com, to see a detailed map. Debbie Loziga, WTMJ News.
DPW tells WTMJ that 27 citations have been issued, 21 vehicles have been towed.
The latest cultural institution in Milwaukee facing a financial hardship.
Marcus Performing Arts Center CEO Kevin Gaglinto is asking for Milwaukee County to extend its cost-sharing agreement that's set to expire at the end of next year. He asked supervisors on the Parks and Culture Committee on Tuesday for ongoing support as the Marcus Center faces an over $2 million deficit by the end of this year. Gaglinto listed lost revenue during the pandemic, the departure of the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra, and costs of redeveloping a parking structure as contributing factors. He told supervisors the Marcus Center plays a key role in Milwaukee's economy, with an estimated annual impact of over $32 million. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Coming up next, searching for a rare stolen baseball card.
And coming up at 5:16, we talk to the man leading a counter-protest during the RNC. Huge legal fights to be within sight and sound of the event and what they plan to do on day one next.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 5:04.
This report sponsored by Mr. Holland's Heating and Air Conditioning. Visit MrHollandsHeatingandAir.com.
Have you heard the buzz? I'm not talking about the latest tabloid gossip. I'm referring to the buzz from the wires that feed your home's electrical power. That's the most important buzz of all. But when you don't hear the buzz, you're left powerless. Talk about a buzzkill. But I have some good buzz to share. Mr. Holland's Home Services can install a brand new, whole house backup generator directly into your electrical system. So if Mother Nature goes on a rampage, or if the grid has gridlock, you can still keep the lights lit, the fridges fridging, Wi-Fiing, and your busy day buzzing. All because you listen to the good buzz about Mr. Holland's whole house generators. Don't wait until the buzz dies down. Keep the lights on and give Mr. Holland's Home Services a buzz today. Call 866-992-1717 or buzz on over to MrHollandsHomeservices.com. If you want to stay buzzed, we can help.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wickert, owner of Wisconsin's own AccuNet Mortgage, with a tip for today's home shoppers. You already know inventory is low and both competition and home prices are high. That's probably why you should not go with your bank or your real estate agent's mortgage pal for your pre-approval. You see, the banks have lots of branches, fancy headquarters, vice presidents and assistant vice presidents. And the loan officers who get referrals from real estate agents, they're typically very highly paid. Who do you think pays for all that extra expense? Turns out it's you. High overhead and high compensation naturally translate into higher closing costs. At AccuNet, our extreme efficiency and low overhead mean your closing costs are typically $1,000 to $3,000 lower than banks and other lenders for exactly the same rate. Don't light your hard-earned money on fire. Get started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval today by clicking on the blue button and put the money you'll save in closing costs towards something for your new home. That's ACCUNET.com.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 5:06.
$2 million in baseball cards stolen from a card show. ABC's Jim Ryan.
Exhibitors at the Dallas Card Show were taking down their booth Sunday when a man approached the vendor for legacy cards and started showing him pictures on his phone. The distraction allowed an accomplice to swipe a case filled with baseball cards, including the holy grail among collectors, the 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle rookie card. 6 of them.
A $70,000 reward for the card's return.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gerber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The first-place Brewers begin a 6-game homestand tonight against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Coverage of tonight's game begins after the 6 o'clock news on WTMJ. Bucks superstar Giannis Antetokounmpo will carry the flag for Greece at the Olympics opening ceremony in Paris. And Greece always leads the Parade of Nations, so he'll be the first flag bearer you see on July 26th. And the Chicago Blackhawks are returning to Fiserv Forum to host a preseason game against the St. Louis Blues on October 5th.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 5:07.
This report sponsored by Pella of Wisconsin. Discover Pella now, pay later at PellaWI.com.
Wow, Wayne, that is a beautiful window.
It sure is, Jeff. It really tackles energy efficiency.
Sure has a nice slide.
It's one of the best screenplays I've ever seen.
They're so easy to close. I'd say it's a grand slam.
If you guys keep making those dad jokes, you're going to be a real pain in my neck.
Oh, that's a good one. Did you hear about this one?
Well, those two go on and on. Let me share something that is not a joke. Order today from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and pay as low as $18 per window and $81 per patio door per month. The installation is completed with no mess and no hassle, leaving nothing but perfect results. A new patio door or front door makes for the perfect backstop. How was that one, guys? Ugh, they're gone. Jeff and Wayne love doing the Irish goodbye. Anyway, moving on from the dad jokes, don't miss this great deal from Pella. Get as low as $18 per window and $81 per patio door per month. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply at 7/31/2024.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
Hope you're having a great Tuesday. If you're just joining us, it has been a rather traumatic afternoon here on the afternoon show. We started the show by, I'm holding up my headphones now. You can watch the live stream by texting the word watch to 855-616-1620. I went right before the show started to put my headphones on, which are Koss headphones, and I love, and they snapped off. Now they're hanging by a thread. So then I was forced to grab the community headphones, which we keep in here, which are like a petri dish. You freaked me out.
Well, I told you that I was getting like bumps on the
Skin
side of my
rash because you used to use the community ones.
Yeah, and I said I had like cystic acne on the side.
My God.
On the side of my face.
So I put these
right
on,
where you put it on.
and then you're so nice that as I put them on and freaked out about getting face germs, you ran and got me this big thing of Lysol disinfecting wipes. Where did you get these?
Right over there.
Okay. By Brandon,
It's ours
producer.
now.
Thank you. So I wiped down the headphones in a hurry, and they were too wet. So now the headphones are like stuck to my head, and they have like a suction sound because they're Lysol wet headphone head.
People are trying to find new ones for you, but you said, no, you're fine.
Well, my friend Martin Moore, who we all know, he's an influencer here in town. You should follow him. He's a great follow on Twitter, Martin Moore. He works for Koss.
Did he get back to you?
Yeah, he said he's bringing me new headphones.
No way.
Yeah. Thank goodness. Martin, you're the best. Yes. Standing ovation for Martin
Excellent.
Moore.
Well, I mean, there's a really crucial week coming up.
Exactly.
We need you to be hearing really
That's
well.
what I told him. Did you see this story? Target stores are no longer accepting personal checks for payment starting July 15th.
So the change comes amid warning use of personal checks, so a form of payment that 9 in 10 consumers use once a year, so not very often.
But 90% use a check once a year?
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever use a check at a retail location like Target?
No, what do I do? For my rent, I do that. What else do I do? Oh, when I got...
But wait, when you said 9, you said... What is, give the stat again?
A form of payment that 9 in 10 consumers use at least once a year.
Okay, but they don't use it once a year at like a Target. Just in general, they use it?
Yeah, I think they just say
So
in
Target
general.
says they're getting rid of it because it's a hassle and less people are using it. They say 3% of their payments made in 2023 were people with a check. 3%. So
Whoa.
3 out of every 100. I'm behind all 3 of those percent. I swear to God, every time I go to Target, there's an old lady pulling out her checkbook out of her purse. She can't find it. It's under my keys, I think, somewhere. Oh, there's my chapstick. I've been looking for that chapstick forever. I found 17 lifesavers, and she can't find the checkbook. I can't stand it when I'm behind somebody paying with a check at the grocery
I worked
store.
in retail, and I was really efficient with getting it through the little zips.
Oh, yeah.
But it was just waiting for them to write it out.
Yes. Don't do that.
Took forever.
So 3% of people paid with a check at Target in 2023. In 2020, before the pandemic, 7%. So it's dropped in half. And 3%. So Target says, no more. We're not doing this anymore. You cannot write checks. They're giving people a little bit of grace until July 15th. So coming up here next week, you will not be allowed to write checks at Target anymore. I'd be interested in hearing from people. Why do you write a check?
That's Monday, right? Oh, yeah, starting Monday. No more checks.
Why do you write a check? Why do you not use your debit card if you want to use your checking account? Why do you physically write a check? And plus, I like every single point. I have a rewards credit card. I have a Capital One card. And so I use every single point, every single dollar to buy airfare, hotels. Like I just want to feel like I'm earning something. So even if I buy a water for $1, I use my credit card.
With my rent, it's like a $3.50 charge if I use my credit card on their app that they have.
Yeah.
And then I think there was another like $10 service charge for, what was it? Oh, yeah, when I got my taxes done. So I'm like, I'm just going to give you a check.
So like my mortgage, I can't even use a credit card. You have to use a check or bill pay through the bank website, but you cannot use a credit card or I would pound that thing. Same with my car payment. They won't let me on my car payment or my mortgage use the credit card.
Just a few years ago, everybody's like, I went to a bachelorette party. They said, oh, just Venmo me. I said, I'll mail you a check. And they thought I was so old school with that.
Yeah. I know Venmo's everywhere.
I didn't know what that was.
It's 5:13 at WTMJ. So there will be protesters here during the Republican National Convention, and they are at odds with officials who want to limit where they can protest and what they can do. Omar Flores is one of the guys that is in charge of the Coalition to March on the RNC, and he is with us live in the studio up next.
Has issued a tornado watch.
Go to a place of safety now. A tornado warning is in effect.
The danger in the thunderstorm alone is definitely there with wind gusts where it's at 50 miles per hour and lots of lightning in this storm system.
Keeping you updated on the weather so you can keep you and your family safe with severe weather coverage on WTMJ. Sponsored by Fleet Farm, proudly serving the Midwest since 1955.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow here for Elmbrook Family Dental, my favorite place. I just went there. It was fantastic. They have 8 different dentists, going up to 11, 2 different locations in Brookfield, a third opening soon in Wauwatosa. So close. It's under construction. Your Research Park set to open on August 1st. Head to elmbrookfamilydental.com. That's ELMBROOK familydental.com. Their team took great care of me for my first cleaning there. The new patient process was so easy and quick. They are the best. Ask for Kelly the hygienist. That's elmbrookfamilydental.com.
Are you ready to start a meaningful career in healthcare? Are you looking for a job that fits your work-life balance? Become a certified direct care professional today and make life better for older adults or people with a disability. WIS Caregiver Careers makes it easy with free online training plus earn a $500 bonus. See your name on Wisconsin's Certified Direct Care Registry. Sign up today at wiscaregivercdcp.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Another MVP has joined the roster at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Dr. Michael Nolte. Expertscape recently named him part of the top 1% of spine expertise in the world. Dr. Nolte has published over 50 peer-reviewed articles in leading scientific journals and authored more than 100 national presentations. They added this MVP specialist for orthopedic, neurosurgical, and spine care because at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference.
Traffic is sponsored by SB Framing Gallery, Milwaukee's distinctive archival framing.
SB Framing Gallery in the 3rd Ward can enhance and protect your artwork for generations. Framing pieces with archival and distinctive design. Learn more at sbframinggallery.com.
Traffic and weather. Debbie Loziga, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, John. It's a rough ride right around the Zoo interchange. First of all, southbound 41. Let's get this one out of the way first. It's just south of Good Hope Road. Got a crash. It's off on the left shoulder. Now for the nasty stuff. We've got 894 southbound at Greenfield Avenue. The 2 right lanes are blocked with a crash, and that is backing things up in all directions. Eastbound 94, we've got a broken down semi stuck in the 3 right lanes at 70th Street. And then in the backups for that, an accident at about 84th Street. That's off on the right shoulder. Delays on eastbound 94, basically out of the Gerke's Corners area, pretty much all the way through. On the westbound side of 94, heavy out of the Marquette, past Mitchell Boulevard, southbound 43, on and off the brakes, basically from before Hampton Avenue past Keefe, and then right through the Marquette interchange onto 4394 southbound. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast tonight, chance for light rain, a low of 67 degrees. Tomorrow, light rain, a high of 76. Thursday, partly cloudy, 78. Friday, mostly sunny, 83. Saturday, slight storm chance, a high of 87 degrees. Right now, mostly cloudy and 73 degrees. 1 week from today, we will be in the heart of the Republican National Convention here in Milwaukee. There's going to be a lot going on. It's not just the politicians. Coalition to March on the RNC will be busy and active as well. Omar Flores is the guy with the Coalition to March, and he is with us this afternoon live in the studio. Omar, thank you so much for making some time for us.
Really appreciate you having us.
So today's a big news day when it comes to marching and protesting and that sort of thing, because a judge has ruled that your First Amendment rights were not violated in limiting where you can march. He said in part, I just want to read this quick quote for you and then ask you to respond. He said, the coalition members have the right to march and protest to the RNC. Their right to do so lies at the heart of the First Amendment, but the First Amendment does not allow them to protest or parade in any way that they choose. The city and Secret Service have demonstrated that they did balance protesters' right to express themselves with legitimate security and other governmental interests. Respond to that.
Well, we just don't buy it. A lot of what the police were saying is that they're too short-staffed to be able to accommodate for the route that we're asking for. And what we say is they have 4,500 officers coming from out of town. We feel that's a perfectly adequate amount of people to be able to accommodate for the protests that we're asking for.
What do you think about this route? I think you got pretty close. Did you want to get any closer?
This route, actually, the one that you have in front of me, this is the route that we paved out for ourselves. So this is not the one that the city assigned. The one that the city assigned is up at Haymarket Square or at Ziegler Square Park, which is extremely far from the Pfizer Forum, as you would imagine.
So that's what you wanted, and you didn't get it.
Exactly.
So the route that you have in front of you would take you pretty close to Pfizer Forum. Organizers say, and police say, we can't have you that close to the hard security zone. How do you respond to them saying it's a security issue?
Well, we're going to do it anyway. We've been protesting for years now. I've been in the movement for 10 years. No protest that I've organized has ever led to really anything awful happening. And so they genuinely have no reason to be afraid of us, honestly. I mean, we marched on the Republicans when they came over here for their national debate in August of 2023, and it notably went without incident. We had hundreds of people out here in 105-degree weather, and nothing had happened. The police left us alone, and we were able to march where we wanted. And so we expect the same to happen during the RNC.
So no one believes more in freedom of speech than Julia and I and other
Yes.
journalists. It's at the core of what we do and how we make our living. But I also believe there's not an absolute. I mean, you can't shout fire in a theater. You can't march to be inside the White House. Isn't there a compromise here? You can't literally just march anywhere you want, can you?
Well, no, because there's going to be physical barriers from preventing us from being able to. And we are making a point to stay outside of the credentialed zone. We're not asking to go beyond that. We're not planning to go beyond that at all. That has never been on the table for discussion to pass the credentialed zone. And so we're perfectly outside of it. The area that we're going to be in for the majority of our march is not even going to have traffic running through it. The only point that there's going to be traffic is through water. And so if anything, we feel like we've run a pretty minimally invasive protest. And, honestly, going to places that the city wants us to go to would actually be a greater risk because anybody's able to sign up for those speaking slots at the Haymarket Square. And that could mean people that are viciously opposed to what we're doing. It could be extremists, people that we don't know. We're not really looking for an intense situation, The city has called these protest zones, but we've actually called them conflict zones, It's genuinely in our best interest to keep this as a family-friendly protest. That's what we set out to do. That's what we've said from the beginning. And really what the city says we can or can't do with this permit, it's talking about how they're going to react to our protest, not exactly how we're going to run our protest.
So
we're going to do the things the way that we want. It's up to the city how they want to respond.
So you're going to walk into the yellow zone. You're going to stay with this map and go down MLK?
Yeah, we're going to go down MLK. And as you see, that's right outside of the credentialed zone where there's going to be the barrier, the fence. And then we're going to head over on State Street where there is an area where they're going to be checking cars that are coming in and out. So we do know that there will be enough to be able to get people through. We're expecting around 5,000 people.
You think there's going to be any problems with that?
No, I don't think so. I mean, the majority of the time that we march here in Milwaukee, and actually in my entire 10 years of organizing, I have never once pulled out a permit, and we've always done this just fine.
But this is different.
Yeah, this is way different.
This is a much different situation. I guess I want to ask you, you said it's going to be family-friendly. It's a family-friendly protest. If police say that there are likely to be arrests if you violate the route, and you know that, and you've raised money to bail people out if there are arrests, is that family-friendly? I wouldn't put my family in that situation where someone could be arrested.
Yeah, we've done this plenty of times with families involved. And, while we're preparing for the worst, right, as we should, we're not naive as to what could potentially happen. We definitely don't think it's likely to happen. We also have a lot of mitigating measures. We have medics. 30 of them that are actually trained. These are not just random people off the street. These are people with healthcare experience. We also have 100 marshals, which are all trained in de-escalation, both with agitators and police.
Yeah, and Juneau State, Kilbourne, Wells, Wisconsin, there's some of those roads have the bridges where you can't even be in the water in that location. Do you see that?
Yeah, and we did talk in our, we had mediation with the Secret Service and with the police. This is the first time they're actually willing to talk with us. For 2 years, we've asked for a route.
Okay,
for 2
so
years
are
that
they
we've
okay
been doing this.
So are
right?
they okay with this route in the yellow? Are they telling you if you don't follow their rules, you are likely to be arrested?
That hasn't necessarily been the tone. If you listen to some of the press conferences from the chief of police, Chief Norman, he said that, it wouldn't be a protest if we weren't breaking the rules a little bit. And he says, but there is limits to that. He says that, they will be sensitive to restricted items, which we very much made a point to not have. Although people could apparently carry guns in the zone. And so who knows if we might see that. We won't be carrying them, that's for sure.
And you've done this. You've done this before at the DNC in 2020. That was
yeah,
in
that's
Milwaukee.
correct. And honestly, we didn't really face quite as much blowback, given very different situation. Right, COVID was at its peak.
Right,
it was a very scaled down convention. But still, I mean, we had people come in from Chicago, for example, or even Atlanta, and they said it felt eerie marching without police around every corner. They're like, do they just not bother you guys? It's like, yes, this is usually how it is in Milwaukee. Not all the time, of course, but usually we're able to march unimpeded and unhurt. And, that's a reputation that we have here in Milwaukee, and that was the same for the DNC.
So it seems like, people golf, people play pickleball, people like to try our new restaurants. It seems like you guys protest. It's Republican, it's Democratic, it's a lot of different causes. Why so much time and energy? You're like almost a professional protester, and I don't mean that as demeaning as it sounds.
Yeah, and honestly, I almost take it as a compliment when people think that this is my job. It's not. I work a full-time job. I'm a network engineer. This is all of my free time. It's very difficult to balance, but the reason why we do it for both is because we understand that the electoral realm has very little to offer us, right? We're not encouraging people not to vote, of course. They could vote if they want, but it's clear that it's not enough to be getting what we want. Joe Biden, when he got in, for example, made a lot of promises that were not fulfilled. And a lot of the reason why he got in was because of the tailwind of the George Floyd uprising. We have not seen benefits in that area of organizing. And so the way that we see it is that no matter who's in office, no matter, if it's left or right, we have to advocate for our needs, and that's the only way we're ever actually going to get them met, right? They always say the squeaky wheel gets the oil. We try to be the squeaky wheel all of the time. And so, for us, it's really, we don't engage, a lot of us don't engage too much with electoral politics, We're not crazy, right? We don't just go out on the street with signs just because we feel like it. Believe me, I'd rather much be hanging out at home right now. But we just know that this is what works.
Do you vote?
Yeah, I vote. I know it's 10 minutes of what I do compared to like the 40 hours a week that I put into this. And I've seen more from this than I have from voting, right? We fight very hard in the organizations that we're in, and we do win policies. We are effective organizations. It's just, it takes a lot more work than we would like. If this is easy, it would have been different a long time ago.
How many protesters do you think will be with you, or demonstrators downtown?
So at a bare minimum, we're expecting around 2K. And that's like bare minimum. More realistically, we're looking at around 5. We do have, as of today, 125 endorsing organizations. Most of them coming from Wisconsin, Milwaukee, a lot of them from outside of the state.
Omar Flores with the Coalition to March on the RNC. We sure appreciate you coming in and talking to us, Omar. Thank you.
Thanks for your time.
It is 5:26 at WTMJ.
When your car or truck needs service, you should take it to a specialist. I'm Jim Token, president of the Auto Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee. At a member, new car dealers have factory warranted parts, the latest diagnostic equipment, and certified manufacturer technicians. Plus, their prices are as low or lower than independent shops, even on routine things like oil changes and tire service. Knowing all that, why would you ever consider going anywhere other than an Adam member dealer?
Welcome to The Knowledge Brokers, a weekly feature covering the dynamics of the insurance market and how it affects Wisconsin businesses and all of us who live here. Sponsored by the original Knowledge Broker, R&R Insurance. Joining us once again today, Jeff Salasinski. He's Vice President of Insurance Operations. Jeff, we talked a lot about how commercial insurance continues to get more complex as the world around us becomes more tumultuous. And on top of that, you have many agents and brokers who've sold their businesses, which just kind of adds to the uncertainty in the marketplace. What's your take on all that?
Vince, we cannot control a lot of what's happening in the world around us, but we can control what's happening at R&R Insurance. The R&R Insurance ownership model is incredibly unique today, and we believe it's better able to deliver client value. Being a local, family-owned, independent insurance agency with 200-plus associates, we have the freedom to invest in people and resources that positively impact our clients. Ensure that decision-making remains local, and we bring consistency to an important relationship. We are not for sale. R&R Insurance will be here today, tomorrow, and well into the future.
Well, that really speaks to me, and I'm born and raised here, Jeff, and Good Karma, our headquarters is right here in Milwaukee, so I definitely see the benefits firsthand of being rooted in our local community and the fact that our ownership is here in Milwaukee.
Yes, very similar, Vince. You know, R&R is grounded in Midwest values. Our impact extends just beyond business transactions because we invest in the very communities where we live and work. We've been around for nearly 50 years, so our focus is long-term, and our clients reap the benefits. We don't wake up in the morning concerned about the price of our stock because we have shareholders we're accountable to. We don't have to answer to a private equity owner. We wake up in the morning focused on our clients and how we create value for them, and that's a significant difference.
That is Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff.
Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning. John Merck here to tell you my water is crisp, clean, and clear. It's because I have Guthrie and Fry. I've got their water softener. I have an RO system, meaning that the water coming out of the faucet is fantastic. We cook more at home. I'm working out at home, so I hydrate more at home. Guthrie and Fry knows that better water makes a big difference. It's Guthrie and Fry, local company with quality products and services at a fair price from a company that I trust. It's Southeast Wisconsin's #1 choice. It's Guthrie and Fry. Budget conscious, friendly. Owners Rob and Sue are the real deal. GuthrieFryWater.com, fixed rental rates, outstanding people with kind-hearted professional service. It's Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning. Better water really does make a big difference. Time for the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Mixed bag today, the Dow down, the NASDAQ and S&P up. Annex Wealth Management, know the difference.
This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Clinics, and I want to talk about exactly what we do. When you come here, you're going to get 2 shots with 2 very small needles. One will be a medication called Toradol, which is a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory, completely different from a standard steroid or cortisone injection. This medication is safe and a great pain reliever. The other will be hyaluronic acid, which is a naturally occurring fluid found in all of our joints. What hyaluronic acid does is it helps recoat the inside surfaces to provide cushioning and lubrication. It helps slow down the osteoarthritis process to a point where patients may not need surgery. All of this combined with using our state-of-the-art Ultra G machine developed by NASA has produced profound results. What we do works. And the best part about this is that insurance covers most of our patients' treatments. Go to Rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
The wait is over. Dell Technologies Black Friday and July deals are live. Check out incredible savings on select laptops and more, like the XPS 15, powered by Intel Core processors. The XPS 15 brings you the perfect balance of power and portability, plus stellar visuals and immersive sound. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to exceptional tech and electronics, plus free shipping on everything. Don't miss out on Black Friday and July savings at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be a sign that your digestive system isn't working at its best? Taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil fiber powders help promote your daily digestive health using a plant-based fiber called psyllium. The gelling action of this special fiber traps and removes waste so you can feel lighter and more energetic. Metamucil, promoting digestive health for a better you. Learn more at Metamucil.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Sendix, they're your local choice, and they're the best choice. It's Sendix Food Market.
It's a peach party at Sendix. Super sweet peaches and nectarines are just $2.49 per pound. Sendix, your trusted local grocer.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 5:32. I'm John Mercure. Your top story: curfew violations voided for a 2020 protest.
I'm Julia Fellow. Financial instability plagues an arts center.
I'm Debbie Loziga, and finally, we got one of the issues taken care of. Eastbound on 94 at 70th Street, we had that disabled semi that was blocking 3 lanes. That has been cleared up. We still have that accident to deal with off on the right shoulder at 84th Street, so keep that in mind. 894 southbound, 2 right lanes are still blocked at Greenfield Avenue because of a crash. And then now on southbound 41 at about Good Hope Road, left lane is blocked with this crash, but it looks like they're in the final stages of cleaning it up. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight it's cloudy with a chance of rain, especially southeast, a low of 67. Tomorrow, a chance of rain in the morning, and then it'll be partly cloudy with isolated showers possible in the evening. The high will be 75 degrees. The current temperature in Milwaukee is 74 degrees and cloudy.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a judge has ruled that a Wauwatosa curfew imposed in 2020 against protests targeting police officer Joseph Mensah violated state law. Attorney Kate Knowlton tells the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel the judge found no facts to dispute in the claim that the city and Mayor Dennis McBride violated state statute. The protest stemmed from Milwaukee County DA John Chisholm's decision not to charge Officer Joseph Mensah in the shooting death of 17-year-old Alvin Cole. Knowlton says anyone whose case is still ongoing for violating that curfew can argue their citation should be voided.
The valet worker at a downtown hotel accused of taking a car and causing a fatal crash has been charged. 23-year-old Marco Gomez charged with first-degree reckless homicide, knowingly operating a vehicle without consent, and homicide by intoxicated use of a vehicle. 29-year-old Michael Starks from Brown Deer died after Gomez crashed into him near North 11th Street and West Wisconsin Avenue because he sped and read a red light at about 11:45 p.m. on June 3rd. In the criminal complaint, Gomez admits to taking a hotel guest rental car while under the influence of alcohol. Valet Service Town Park says he was not working at the time. Gomez is in custody on $100,000 bail.
The latest cultural institution in Milwaukee facing financial hardship.
Marcus Performing Arts Center CEO Kevin Guglinto is asking for Milwaukee County to extend its cost-sharing agreement that's set to expire at the end of next year. He asked supervisors on the Parks and Culture Committee on Tuesday for ongoing support as the Marcus Center faces an over $2 million deficit by the end of this year. Guglinto listed lost revenue during the pandemic, the departure of the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra, and costs of redeveloping a parking structure as contributing factors. He told supervisors the Marcus Center plays a key role in Milwaukee's economy, with an estimated annual impact of over $32 million. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. First place Brew Crew begin a 6-game homestand tonight against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Milwaukee begins the day 4.5 games ahead of the Cardinals for first place in the NL Central. Bucks superstar Giannis Antetokounmpo will carry the flag for Greece at the Olympic ceremony in Paris. Greece always leads the Parade of Nations, so he will be the first flag bearer you will see on July 26th.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 5:36. News sponsored by Holiday Automotive, Highway 23 in Fond du Lac. Holiday Automotive, it's worth the trip.
Hey, Wisconsin, Greg Natzik here for Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac, where the summer road trip sale continues. It's where to gear up, get more for your trade, and be ready for the journeys ahead in a new Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, or a GM-certified pre-owned model. Connect with Holiday for an impressive selection while you get in on the season's best offers. Whether it's low interest rate financing, generous cash back, or a comfortably low lease payment, now is a great time to explore all that's new, treat yourself to a test drive, and enjoy Holiday's genuine guest care and transparent, simplified buying approach. It is the stuff that makes fans of drivers from all over, and I'm one of them. You'll be in great hands with Team Holiday on your side. Proud and grateful to be Wisconsin's #1 Buick and GMC dealer. Accolades are per 2023 Buick and GMC Zone Sales Records. Find yours and discover the difference at Holiday Chevrolet, Buick and GMC, Highway 41 and 23 in Fond du Lac, and at holidaygm.com. It's worth the trip.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznansky is with us. Good afternoon, Niz.
Yo, what's going on, John? How you doing?
Good. I got to ask you this question about the reporting of tornadoes. We had an animated discussion in our newsroom about this.
Okay.
40th tornado reported because of the one that had happened in Medford. 40 tornadoes this year. They're almost all EF0s or EF1s.
Yes.
They're little tornadoes. And people upstairs where I was were saying, I don't even pay attention anymore like I used to, because now they're tornadoes that are rotation, maybe located on radar. They're little tiny tornadoes. Is this becoming problematic, like almost like crying wolf, because we're calling things tornadoes that before would never have been a tornado?
There's two different things going on here. As far as what is being warned, there and what is actually being confirmed.
Yep.
Now, when they do confirm a tornado, that means that there is evidence that is conclusive, that a tornado did occur. Now, one thing that may have amplified this a little bit more than maybe in the past is that everybody now has the ability to be a reporter. Everybody has a phone. Everybody has a ways to contact the National Weather Service more. So what I think is happening is a lot of these tornadoes, which would be probably go unnoticed or unreported, or just someone who says, I got trees down in my yard, are now getting confirmed to be tornadoes. Now, I don't know if there's any other motivation behind that, but yes, I would say from today to 20 years ago, a lot of these EF0s may have not even been, not only the damage not found, but maybe the initial reason for the survey team to go out is because some rotation was found on radar, or even someone saw it and has a video of it on their phone. You know what I mean? So then there's no denying there was a tornado.
Advancements in technology.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know if there's any motivation to confirm more or anything, but I would say yes. I would say the numbers of the very, very small ones, I think, are probably going up simply because more are confirmed visually, because there's more chasers out there. There's more people with a phone on it. And then also be given the technology.
So technology is a good thing. We can all agree it's inherently a good thing, right? You have better tools, and I trust you when I see you and you're on the air talking about it. But when I was growing up, if the sirens went off or a warning was issued, you knew that it was really serious. Now I feel like if there's a warning issued or a siren goes off, sometimes it's like, well, we see a quirk in the radar, so there may be something, but a warning's issued.
I couldn't agree more. And I don't want to dive into the specifics because we don't issue these warnings.
Right.
That is strictly the National Weather Service. However, we do have discussions with the National Weather Service, and we recently had a very lengthy discussion as far as certain criterias on what they will warn on, whether it's a severe thunderstorm warning and a tornado warning. There is, I wouldn't say a tweak to specific criteria, but maybe there is a little bit of a mindset change. And again, I do not want to speak for them, and that's about as far as I'll go. But there are certain things that, based on certain technologies that we have, they are more comfortable with issuing a warning. But I will say there was significant pushback by many meteorologists that are on air and off air that are saying, hey, are we heading in? Basically proposing the question, are we heading in the wrong direction with this? Because there have been so and so many warnings that were issued, but we only confirmed this much, damage
no, that's a good
and
point.
whatnot. And it is, and I'm on this fence because the last thing you want is to, let's just say severe thunderstorm warning, is to continually issue severe thunderstorm warnings based on some sort of evidence, but then most of the people within the warned area barely have a stick down in their yard. Because then what's going to happen is people are not going to pay attention to the real deal that comes through. And they're going to say, well, the last 5 severe thunderstorm warnings I had, I didn't even hear thunder. So, and we have a problem if that continues to grow. And by you bringing this up, have you noticed I'm a little amped up?
I am.
By you bringing by you bringing this up, it raises what my concern is, and this is a big concern. Now, with that said, I'm not saying that the tornadoes that we've had haven't caused damage, and most of them, thankfully, have been on the low end. But I just don't want people to start thinking, well, hey, it's okay. At worst, it's going to take some trees down out in the middle of nowhere when we have our first, EF4 barreling through the area that we've haven't had in a long time.
I hear you. We're on the same page. Hey, Niz, we'll pick up the conversation down the road. I appreciate your passion. He is Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznansky. Niz, thank you so much.
You bet, guys.
Thanks,
See ya.
542 at WTMJ. WTMJ's John Mercure here. Join me as we count down to the RNC in Milwaukee. We'll talk to the biggest names across the political landscape.
The idea of having the convention here is to advertise the city of Milwaukee. And it's not good advertising for the city of Milwaukee if they're throwing Molotov cocktails and overturning cop cars.
Full podcast available on WTMJ.com or text RNC to the Old National Bank talk and text line and get a link sent directly to you.
Decision Wisconsin 2024 coverage is presented by Pasternak and Zerga Bell.
Did you know that the Inflation Reduction Act can save you thousands on energy-efficient updates like new insulation, siding, windows, and more? And these dollars are in addition to Focus on Energy rebates. I'm Randy Miller, owner of All Right Home and Remodeling and S&E Insulation. As Department of Energy Century Club Award winners, my team has the proven skills and experience to help you take advantage of these unprecedented incentives. Get started at ALLRITE-remodeling.com.
It happens all the time. Hey, everybody. Debbie Lazaga here for Comfort Awnings in Burlington, your awnings and screening experts. What happens all the time, Debbie? Well, I get folks that come over to relax at my house that ask, whoa, where did you get this? It's so nice. It's the shade, isn't it? I say, yeah, they say, but look how awesome it looks. I know. It's because the folks at Comfort Awnings know how to put together a custom package as beautiful as it is useful. They have a huge selection of colors and fabrics, and once I'd chosen what I wanted, they were able to professionally install it lickety-split. Now, all I have to do to get a little bit of extra living space outside is push a button, and bam, instant shade. You're curious about it. I know. I say now is the best time to give Comfort Awnings a call because this month you can get $400 off any awning or screen. Call 414-AWNINGS for a free estimate or visit comfortawnings.com.
People across Wisconsin are enjoying the rewards, stability, and flexibility of a career in healthcare. Why not you? WIS Caregiver Careers can get you started as a certified direct care professional. You'll learn the skills you need to make life better for older adults or people with a disability. All training is free and online. Plus, earn $500 in bonuses. Start your new career. Sign up today at WisCaregiverCDCP.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Restaurant prices are soaring, but not at the family-owned Mine Shaft restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Mercure here. The Mine Shaft is one of my favorites. It's super affordable, and the atmosphere is so much fun. Today and every Tuesday, the all-you-can-eat Mexican buffet is just $9.99. It's all your favorite authentic Mexican and all you can eat for $9.99. Your kids and grandkids can safely play in that huge game room, quietly set aside from the dining area while you finish up dinner. You really should try the Mine Shaft's all-you-can-eat Mexican buffet. It's $9.99, and check this out. Desserts are buy one, get one free, and they've got great homemade desserts. The cool and comfortable Mine Shaft is in beautiful downtown Hartford and right there off the interstate in Oshkosh. Lots of seating, close parking, no reservations needed. Just walk in today for the Tuesday all-you-can-eat Mexican buffet for under $10. Kids and grandkids 5 and under eat for free. That's right, free. It's the amazing Mine Shaft restaurant.
Traffic is sponsored by the Heiser Automotive Group. Come in and make that deal. Visit Heiser Automotive Group with 4 convenient locations or online at heiser.com. Ford, Chevy, Toyota, Lincoln, and Cadillac. Today's your day.
Be greeted by an owner at America's largest employee-owned jewelry store.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Traffic. Let's get a look at the roads with Debbie Lazaga.
All right, Julia, southbound 41 still tied up just south of Good Hope Road. Left lane's blocked because of a crash. We've also got this other crash that's blocking the 2 right lanes on 894 southbound at Greenfield Avenue, so watch out for that. And then we've also got eastbound 94 with a crash at 84th Street off on the right shoulder. Be your eyes on the roads. Report incidents to the WTMJ Volkswagen Traffic Tip Line. Call Volkswagen Traffic Tip Line 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Major Garrett is CBS's chief Washington correspondent. His podcast is Agent of Betrayal, The Double Life of Robert Hanssen. On my 17-hour drive back from Hilton Head, I was listening to so many crappy podcasts because I was just looking for something to occupy my time that I told my wife, a miracle might happen, honey. Let's Google to see if the newest episode of Agent of Betrayal is out. And instead, I had to listen to Will Arnett talk about golf because it's not out yet. Major's here. I told my wife the first thing I'm going to ask him is when we get more of Agent of Betrayal. Major.
I wish I could tell you. I wish I could say definitively there's a date you could circle on the calendar, but I can't.
Don't you remember his tease?
I do, but I'm just hoping for a miracle.
We're still working on it in both audio and
video.
Visual, yes, visual format.
That was his tease.
That's going to be good. Yes. He is CBS's chief Washington correspondent. Major, I wanted to tap into some of that expertise and ask you about Joe Biden, the debate performance, and now what's happened this week. When people ask you and know nothing about what's going on, how would you describe the state of where we are and what's at stake for the Democratic Party?
So the state of play is as follows. Many Democrats in the House and Senate and across the country, but because I'm in Washington and because Washington is a funnel for political anxieties for members of Congress, they all congregate here and talk to each other, and that anxiety tends to get funneled into one direction.